Monday.com is the project management platform my team and I use to keep our work moving forward.
Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running. Told my boss that I'm done. Had no luck with my mom. Say, what will you do with your life? You know it's hard to survive. A cigar in my mouth. Maybe guilty but proud. Now I'm an outlaw on the run. Dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
of disables. Axe can be effective against Weaver in terms of like hard disable, because grab a blade mill. Weaver's HP to damage ratio is not so good to play against Axe at times, but Weaver's also pretty good against Phoenix with Geminate against the Egg, so it's going to be a slightly scary Phoenix game right now, but both teams can go lots of ways.
The thing about the Weaver Axe matchup that's also really interesting is that there's plenty of situations where Axe gets a hero low but can't fully chop, and then against Weaver it feels like a lot of the time it doesn't matter. So you need to make sure that when you blink call a Weaver, you get the kill, because if not, you time lapse it off and Axe just wasted his initiation, right? And on the top of that, Weaver also has the bugs where if you manage to connect them with Axe in the backline of the fight when it starts, he can't blink for an eternity because his attack speed is so bad that getting rid of that bug takes a long time. So for me, it's a really interesting matchup. I love these matchups where two heroes kind of counter each other, depending on the timing. There you go, Shiva. Here's your first blood. Who is the idiot now, Purge? It's you. I totally didn't pick Quap.
I mean, I guess Oracle was an okay pick because Liquid was playing today and they pick it all the time, and now Nigma's doing it too. Jeez. Yeah. With that said, though, Oracle getting first blood at the start, like at level 1, is pretty low chance. Just because you're almost always opening with Fortune's End, and Oracle's base damage is pretty crappy. But
that is true.
If there is no first blood until the laning stage, then yeah, Oracle could definitely pick it up at level 2 or level 3.
Yeah, level 3 Oracle is in many ways the best kill support in the game, actually, for like a couple minutes, just because you have 2 Purifying Flames and 1 Fortune's End, and that does about like, what's that, 400 magic damage, pretty much?
Yeah, that was my guess.
Something like that. So pretty nasty. So now that Nigma has showed themselves, they've showed a hard save into Axe where... Oh, I love it.
Oh. I wasn't.
No, it fits very well with the drafting music.
Shiva, are you trying to bake a cake while working? That's really maximizing your at-home work. That's pretty incredible.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I mean, I'm sitting in the kitchen after all. It's all good. Oh, I fixed it. Yep.
Cool.
Sorry, guys.
That's alright.
I love it. It's flavor. Just like whatever you have in the oven, hopefully.
No, that wasn't. This was a timer from earlier. We already.
Oh.
We have a long story.
High tech.
What a catastrophic mistake. All right,
we had a great roasted sandwich, roasted steak sandwich. So Venge and Oracle to support saving supports. Yep. We have actually seen this the other way around, right? This was switched around in one of the games that they played in the first series of the tournament, where it was Kuroki on the Vengeful Spirit and Insania on the Oracle, and it was the Vengeful Spirit that won that saving battle.
Yep. And a big part of that is Venge's ability to get heroes out of reach for Oracle, so Oracle can't actually save them. Wow, that was an instant counterpick to Troll. Koikva loves Razor. It's really good against the Troll Oracle. I would say both Weaver and Earth Spirit fare pretty well against Razor because they're so mobile and they can get away from the link. Earth Spirit can also kick the Razor away from Troll, which is probably a play we're going to see this game, but just, you know, it's comfort zone. It's something they've played a lot. But what they didn't manage to get this game is wave clear on Insania's support. They probably will be using Taiga's Phoenix a lot for that this game, but that also means that the dynamic of the strategy is a little bit different, right? Because now, if Taiga is out wave clearing, then Insania needs to make the moves, but he's also their save at the same time. So it gets a little more complicated and a little less straightforward what you need to do, but they definitely have the options available here.
One thing on Nigma's lineup, though, is I feel like they're a little bit lacking burst damage slightly. Like, outside of, I mean, obviously they have, like, Oracle nukes and stuff like that, but Weaver usually takes a couple seconds to kill a hero. Earth Spirit has more damage over, like, the medium term, like, over the 10 to 15 second mark, so I feel like that's one advantage that Liquid has, because anything paired with Axe is already going to have quite a lot of burst damage in typical situations, so... And they also are a little bit disable weak on Nigma's side as well, so there's a couple issues standing out, even though their picks are smart on paper.
But what if this Weaver goes Axe?
Then it could be a lot more effective for sure, because then that would counter, it would give them 2 saves, right? They'd have both Weaver and an Oracle. So.
Weaver Axe is insanely good against Axe. I think it's probably the best save you can have in the game against Axe. So.
I want to just quickly point out that we just saw Boxy on screen, and his posture is not recommendable. I think Blitz as a coach, I mean, we've all seen pictures of Blitz sitting on chairs, if you can call it sitting. I think he's coaching Boxy in areas outside of the game too, after seeing this camera shot. But
I call
this is not a... What do you call this?
This is the lounge. I mean,
The lounge.
it's super lounge, to be honest. It's not just lounge. Lounge is when you lean back your chair. Here, he's kind of leaned back the entire room. So it's the super lounge.
I gotta say, I've just never in my life had the desire to put my feet on my table. Not because I'm worried about being messy. It's just I don't think my hips can do that. Maybe it's just an NA thing or something. But I'm really confused how that is comfortable for anybody.
Hips are very different in the States.
We're
Maybe
bad
the
at squatting.
tables are lower?
Everybody knows that. I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's talk about these last picks. We got the Bloodseeker for Mickey coming out. I'm
Good
assuming
against
it's a
Weaver.
Mickey hero.
It's good against
good.
Weaver, but it's good against carry Weaver, right? Like, if this is a utility Weaver, I don't consider this a very good counter, because what utility Weaver does is sit in the backline. It throws out Scarabs, it waits to save someone. Bloodseeker against Troll can be decent, but if Troll has 2 saves, I'm not sure if it gets the job done. I think they can sustain and keep it alive. And on top of that, compared to yesterday's drafts, I feel a little less convinced about Liquid's the straightforwardness of their lineup. It's a little more complicated to find the kind of fights that you want. Yesterday's drafts were just so clean. And like I said, today I'm expecting Nigma to force them into something a bit different, and I think they've accomplished that. And now they even have last pick to try to set themselves up for success.
I mean, I kind of like the Liquid draft personally. I just feel like they're kind of restricting. Basically, their initiations have decent solutions against the enemy heroes, against Oracle and Weaver. Like they can do rupture swaps. They can do axe calls into like silence follow-ups. Even like Troll isn't going to be able to protect himself against silences very easily. That can limit him. Oracle's Fate's Edict is basically not good this game at all. There is magic damage across the board, but none of it is like super easy to stop. So I kind of feel like it turns Oracle into like a one ultimate sort of hero partially. There's gonna be a lot of BKB cores coming out on Liquid side, which is gonna make the Earth Spirit feel weaker. I just like the hero matchups a lot on the Liquid side, even if things aren't as
good
easy.
This game, that's a really good pick in my opinion.
Why so?
Because if you look at the lineup from Liquid, first of all, their primary initiation is Axe, and now you have a natural Tornado against the Blade Mail. You don't even need to buy Yule, so you can counteract that very well. You have very good spacing in fights against a lineup that needs to run you down with Razor and Bloodseeker, Ice Wall, Tornado EMP. Anything that zone controls is super good against this type of draft. So I like that pick, and I just wanted to say, I'm looking at Liquid's draft. Imagine Boxy has a bad game here. I'm a little worried for them. This is, like we talked about pregame, Axe needs to have a good game. And I'm not sure if they can guarantee him that with this support duo. If, say, Nigma tri-lane, for example, and just leave their Weaver alone. Troll, Oracle, Earth Spirit is nasty as Axe. It's so much chase potential, tons of magic damage, and his support lineup isn't too dangerous. So I like Nigma in this game, for sure.
I wanna get an answer from you, Bruce, regarding something that Liquid said before the game. We heard Taiga talk that their plan was to be able to play faster today than what they did previously against Nigma. Do you feel like they achieved that, even if it is maybe difficult to execute?
It looks possible if the Axe gets a game on the right foot. I think Sin's point there was really valid. Like that is their easiest initiation. Doing something like long range rupture is not as safe as jumping in instantly with Axe, and even so they'll be able to fight constantly. But I wonder if that's also going to be able to be turned around now with the Invoker, Tornado, and other solutions. So it might be hard.
All right, well, let's find out what's going to happen in the opening game of this best of 3 series. It is time to head over to our commentary duo of Odie Pixel and Fox.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, we've got a great one here again, folks. We're getting the last pick, Weeheart Invoker. I mean, is the magic gonna work? I love watching this hero, but I can't help but feel that we don't see it win a lot.
I have to concur. However, they're very comfortable on it. And this is such a 4 protect 1, right? This is just like all eggs into the miracle basket. This should be pretty interesting. You know, the alacrity going to be thrown at him. They're going to probably have this Weaver go, I would assume, maybe an Ags this game. Yeah, this should be a fun one.
Oh, let's see how it goes down. And of course, Liquid themselves with their last pick, the Bloodseeker, another hero that we don't. It's not sort of the top of the list for a lot of the teams when it comes to a hard carry right now.
Yeah.
And Mickey on it this game, what does sort of his potential look like? Is it pretty solid game, or is he going to struggle until he gets the BKB?
The two interesting things that I see, at least with it, is because it's, you know, it's going to be good versus the Weaver. The silence should be pretty phenomenal this game across the board. Actually, all 5 heroes don't really want to be playing against that Blood Right, and the Rupture. Troll can't control himself. You know, if you get ruptured and you ulted, you're gonna just run with that rupture the whole time. Weaver also never likes to play versus that Bloodseeker either, because you know you get your thirst, etc. Lots of different reasons. The silence is also really, really good. So yeah, I do like the Bloodseeker pick. Just wondering how it's all gonna come together, as I believe Sind was the one who was talking about a little bit of struggle on the side of Liquid for pushing out lanes. The silence. GH?
Ah, very nicely done it. Level 1 magic missile into the Blood Bright, and that should set up for the kill. He's trying to find the angle to roll out, but they're blocking him off, and first blood will go the way of Koikfa.
And that gives it to a Razor who's mid versus an Invoker. Invoker already probably going to struggle quite a lot in that matchup, and now you're giving Razor quite a bit increase. He can actually, I wonder if he's going to go for the Wraithband, or if he's just going to, okay, he is. I was wondering if he maybe just rushes for like boots, just to stick on the Invoker and completely crush the lane, because Invoker's so slow. And you know that Invoker's going to rush boots himself to dodge the link. But yeah, he goes for Wraithband. Should still be a tough matchup for Weehaw.
And, you know, going on why they picked the last pick Invoker, would you agree with what the panel said? Is this purely looking at the fact that you're against these 3 cores, this Razor, Bloodseeker, the Axe, that they want to be frontlining, right?
Yes.
They want to be running at targets. The amount of crowd control an Invoker offers is going to be a nuisance for them.
Yeah, and I actually tend to like Invoker versus Axe, because Axe's mana pool is atrocious throughout like the entirety of the game. You get hit by 1 EMP, you're out of the fight. So you're likely to get counter-initiated on quite a lot by that Invoker, and I believe that's kind of the style. They have so many different saves and pseudo-saves, right? They have Oracle, then they're going to maybe have a Weaver Ags, and then an Invoker Tornado kind of to cover as well. Yeah, they have a lot of different ways that they have drafted to protect.
Bottom lane, a bit of an attempt onto Insania, but Mickey able to keep him fine and safe, laying down the Blood Bright. Putting Nigma off, pushing any further on that bottom side.
I like this lane setup by Nigma too. Running the aggro tri-lane, putting the Weaver, just my control, you're on your own up top. We don't want to deal with the pressure lane, and we want to actually apply pressure. This should be very beneficial for the side of Nigma. However, might actually give Boxy a really good start, which I think Sinner also was the one who was saying like he wants to see Boxy off to a good start this game because he's going to be so crucial.
Yeah, they need his setup, they need his caps
yeah.
to be able to follow up on. And ideally they want to get it online before Weehaw has too many levels on the Invoker, and his crowd control and the way that he can break up the fights is at a higher level.
Yeah, Weehaw already struggling pretty hard in that mid lane. 11-3 to the 3-0. Koikfa, he's got the Wraithband, and he's going straight for those boots right after, so you see he knows exactly what to do in this matchup.
Yeah. I mean, it is just a very rough lane for the Invoker, right? Because nowadays, you never go Exalt build, you go in this Quas Work, so your right click's already terrible. See if they can finish him off. Mickey getting low. GH is able to back off and sell.
This is like a wand lane if I've ever seen one. Look at the stick charges up on the side of Nigma. They know they're playing versus Bloodseeker, Phoenix, and there's always going to be spells just spammed out, so they're all already built up to, what, 7 sticks.
GH is going to try and go for this. Rolls in onto Mickey. Mickey lays down the Blood Bright. They turn with the Magic Missile onto Miracle. Mickey stepping away. The Purifying Flames actually healing him back up, and now Miracle's in trouble. He gets the Whirling Axes, the mischance, stopping Insania from connecting with the hits. Now turns the Whirling Axe slow onto the 3 of them. Another Magic Missile's out. Insania's trying to finish off the kill onto Miracle, and they'll get it. With the Blood Bright hitting, they kill off Miracle. Mickey's able to stay on top and get the second. It's a 2-for-2 on this bottom lane. As it all kicks off, at the end of the day, though, Mickey is going to be the victor, staying alive and being alive for those 2 kills, getting the double, getting a lot of gold and a lot of XP in this lane.
Oh, the courier, though, he walks it into GH. He just gives it for free.
He was just too excited, you know. He's like, guys, I just got a double kill in this tri-lane. And it always happens. It always happens after a moment of greatness, then a courier comes in and dies.
He whips the tornado on
Koikfa
during the link.
He's dead. He's dead. Oh, I mean, it's a hard mid lane, and Koikfa he's certainly giving him a beating on the poor old Invoker.
Can't miss the tornado when he's static linking. He just ran right through it and got to stick onto him. And now GH, bottom.
He's popped the fire. He's got 1 charges available, and we'll pop them now. He's able to back out at the last moment. Turns around, kicking the stone back. The Spirit's sticking him down a little bit. Magic Missile into the Blood Bright again. It's this combo that's constantly keeping Nigma's heroes very low on this tri-lane.
Oh man, Bloodseeker's just got his own natural form of regen built in because he went for the 1 point in his Blood Rage, so the sustain war is definitely going to be won by Liquid, it looks like, down here for the next few moments. And Boxy is absolutely maximizing now because of this. He knows he's in that 1v1, so he's just going to be pulling these creeps around into the camps that he can find, if there are any, since he did block the big camp with a sentry. And he'll get quite a bit more farm than Mind Control doing this. Yeah, Boxy's going to have a good game.
Mid lane, Weehaw was able to land the Tornado EMP combo this time round, so not really a threat of Quake for running him down. There's no mana regen on Quake for right now. Still, obviously, the CS very hard. Quake for having those stats with the double Wraith bands. He's got just enough for the link. Another Tornado's out, but he doesn't quite break it. At the same time, down bottom, Liquid, they'll get one. They might even have a good shot of getting GH. He's got the roll back up in a second. Insania, can he get in range for the Magic Missile? He can't. This Bloodbright does still connect, but Mickey's not going to be able to dive underneath this tower. And again, it really is just the funds that Nigma's having to put into these consumables. You're just seeing salve after salve being popped down here. And as you mentioned, you know, Mickey, he does not need that. He's going to come out on top, and he's 3-0-1 already in this laning stage.
Yeah, and you see the way that he's itemizing too. Look, he's got a bracer. He just wants to tank up, and he knows he just needs to survive the burst damage that comes out from Nigma, and they should be able to turn for the kills.
They're going to try and go in on him. And he's got the help from the side, but the Brute does hit. He's going to continue to run. GH with no spells left available. They're both on cooldown. The Bloodbright's going to hit onto GH. GH pops the stick charges. He's trying to finish off Insania. He's not going to be able to get him. Insania will live. It's another kill for this safe lane Bloodseeker. Mickey, 4-0-1. It's just getting better and better for him down here in this tri-lane.
Not looking so good of a start here for Nigma. All three lanes looking pretty good for Liquid.
Very good. I mean, this top lane, I mean, you said it, you know, if Boxy, he is this player that if you just leave him on his own, he's just going to be able to maximize his farm to an insane level. He's got 52 CS against the Weaver, you know, and this Weaver, Mind Control, he's farming all right, but it's just the fact that Boxy is getting so much out of here, and no surprise at all there with the CS record.
And he's even stacking the camp for himself with the Battle Hunger.
Like the efficiency.
He missed it.
Okay, I was going to say it couldn't be any better. It could be. There's always room for improvement, even for Boxy breaking records with his CS. But no, honestly, 58 last hits. Eating every wave, eating the jungle creeps. This axe is going to be huge.
I'm tempted to just say rush the blink. I see he has the stick ready, but if he gets such an early blink dagger, that's going to be so good for their team to just set up every single fight. And it's going to come at a really early pace. And that Axe versus the thing is Axe versus Troll, he can dunk through that ult.
Yep.
If he does get set to the low threshold, it's going to be a lot up to the Oracle if he can keep him, if he ults him at a high threshold, and then you know.
No, it's definitely there's a lot of things that Miracle's got to be careful about in this game. It's not a game where you think, right, it's an easy Troll game. It really is not. They've got a lot of counters to him, be it the Axe dunk down, the rupture, the link.
Yep, they
slow.
really tripled down.
I mean, it's they've got all the answers for a Troll until the Troll has sort of those, you know, sort of mid to late game items. Before that, it's all on Kuro with the saves, and even then, it's still not easy for Miracle.
Yep. Yeah, he switched to the Blink Dagger right away. Yeah. So he's level 8 now on the Axe already.
I mean, that's insane. Yeah, because down bottom, everyone's like level 3, level 4, and then level 8 on Boxy. That's ridiculous. We'll see another fight kick off in this tri versus tri lane. Insania looks like he's going to accept that he's going to die. He's running, he's popping the stick, but he's under the tower. They've got another root control. Nigma will be able to kill the Venge.
Will they get the illusion? They will not. He's going to bully GH with that now.
Dude, honestly, Boxy's going to hit 100 CS before, like at a timing that I don't think we've probably ever seen people do so in such a long time.
Yeah,
like, this
he's
is
gonna
so
blink
quick.
very soon.
This is insane.
They're just going to, I mean, everyone's HP pool is going to be so low. He's just going to call, get like 1-2 spins, and then dunk over and over again. This is looking amazing for Liquid.
A 2K lead already.
Weehaw is trying to at least mess with Boxy here. Maybe some TPs coming in. Okay.
Let's see what they can do about this. EMP, Tornado's down. They'll be able to drain his mana, but the help of GH, they'll have a go at this. Will pop the call, go for the TP out. Actually cancels it there. Knows that GH still has a rolling boulder, so wouldn't have been able to get away with it nonetheless. Tries to stand his ground and, in fact, kill them with him, and one more spin would do it. He's chasing down GH. He's got to get it. He's now into the trees. He has a Quelling Blade, so he can kind of cut his way through and juke this out. At the same time, Quakefor makes the move down bottom, kills Miracle underneath his tower. Boxy's still alive. Weehaw is searching, knows that Boxy's solo, has got the cold snap. Boxy should finally fall. There are Tornadoes out there, finally get rid of them. But certainly causing a nuisance and making space. As I say, Quakefor had the room to step away from mid. because there was no threat of his tower being pushed with the Invoker out of the picture, goes bottom and kills off the carry.
Yeah, you know that they felt like they needed to make him. They're like, we can't just let Boxy do this. He's getting away with far too much, so they make the rotation. And as soon as they make that rotation, like you said, GH isn't bothering him anymore. So it's a dual lane versus tri-lane, and they can even bring in more rotations. Excellent moves by Liquid. They're very well prepared today. Weehaw does have an urn finished up, at least, right, for himself. So now he can be active on the map too. Get those urn charges up and be pretty aggressive.
But here's that timing. You know, one of the pluses of Boxy dying here is that he's able to come back out on the map with the Blink Dagger, and that certainly is it's very likely to catch Nigma off guard. It's very, very early. They would have been aware that he was getting a lot of
outpost. Perfect timing for this outpost.
See who wants to make the jump on Boxy. Blood Bright's out. He's going to look towards GH, turns over towards Kuro. In fact, in the river as well. Quakefa is already... He's just going to kill Weehaw. What was Weehaw doing? He was trying to join the fight, but Quakefa says no. Boxy, it does end up managing to dunk down Kuro, and GH just dies to the Blood Bright.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's a mess. It's a big old mess right now.
And Boxy's like, I don't need to farm anymore. Now is like this is the best possible situation for an Axe. He's like, I'm just gonna go hunting.
He's gonna get the grab onto Miracle. He's gonna need a lot of spins to make this one work. Gets another. He's going to need a couple more. I mean, Miracle, you've got to remember, he's still level 5. He's not 6. TPs have to come in to keep him safe. Mind Control's come over to this half of the map to try and push Boxy away. But Liquid, you could just feel it. They're just in full control right now.
Look, this Axe has 16 armor. All right, they got the EMP and Tornado.
See if they can finish him. He's got friends, though. Quakefa and Insania are around. He goes for the call onto Mind Control, into the Magic Missile. Do they have the burst to kill him off? They do. The dunk's there. Boxy, he's just toying with them. He's saying, come and get me. Come and get me. He does not care.
I didn't point this out either, but maybe the best item Axe could have gotten this game. He got an Arcane Ring. And he's playing versus an EMP Invoker, so he's gonna have that extra mana pool always to just jump up and go for these plays. That is actually phenomenal luck for him there, but he's been owning anyway, so.
Yeah, and it's the fact that the number works out so perfectly, right? Because the thing that screws him is if you're going on this Axe, he gets his mana drained. Sure, he's getting spins off, but he can't get that finishing nuke off. You get 75 mana from the ring. Dunk, it costs 60, at least at the level 1. So at this stage of the game, he's always going to be able to get the dunk off, despite the EMP being there most of the time.
And I was mentioning how your mana pool on Axe tends to be pretty bad. You throw this on top. Look, he's got 600 mana. No, that's fantastic.
Was it plus 10 in?
Plus 10 int.
Plus 10 in. That's 1,000 gold worth of in.
And he's just going to get another one.
All right. Boxy's got to calm down. He's got to calm down here. It's just getting a little... Oh, no. Oh,
Mind
not
control.
the time lapse into the Blood Bright. There's no escape. Mind Control. He is dead. Double kill for Boxy. I mean, we might as well just give him the win right now.
Oh my god. I mean, this game is gonna be real hard for Nigma to come back in. Only 12 minutes in, but the pace at which Liquid's gonna be able to set right now is gonna be crazy. Like Miracle, he's gonna be desperately trying to look for farm. But like I said, Boxy, he doesn't really have to farm much at all anymore. He's gonna finish up this camp right here because it's double, but it's all about just the hunt. And then that's gonna give Quakefa so much space to finish a Yule's already. Yule's done at 12, so another amazing item versus a Troll Warlord too. Everything coming together for Liquid.
Weehar's on the hunt top. Tiger is a little low. Let's see if he can try and go for a poke here. He does have the mana for the Supernova though with the stick charges. So we'll be able to save himself, and we are unable to quite get the grab on him. Here's the smoke movement. It's go time for sure. They should just go for fights non-stop. There's no way that Nigma can take any fight here. Have some mercy on the poor young Invoker. There's no mercy to be had. As on top of him they jump. The call, the dunk's a little early. It's not even needed. Boxy gets another kill with the spins. Yeah, this game is rapidly falling out of control for Nigma. They've got to find some sort of way to slow it down, but against the heroes that Liquid have, it's just not there. I mean, we talked about Invoker obviously having the crowd control that can sort of disrupt these sort of plays, but they're just playing too fast on Liquid. The levels aren't there. Weehaw can't turn up to the fights because half the time he's being jumped on before they even start.
Yep, and Liquid's draft overall is just, they have way more team fight in comparison to Nigma's. They've got this Phoenix Axe. Axe has the way to cover the Phoenix, so the Phoenix Egg sometimes in the beginning of the game isn't so strong, but if Nigma does try to actually take a 5v5 fight, they're just going to get absolutely destroyed. They are nowhere near ready versus this Liquid draft. And this is also a draft, as we said, there's triple counter. versus that Troll Warlord. So even if Miracle finds some space to farm, there's going to be ways that they already have that address him.
Yeah, it never really feels like he's going to be in the clear this game.
No.
Regardless of if he is able to get items to catch up, he's just not been able to find the space. He's going to go for the Asher into the Battle Fury. I mean, he knows, you know, he cannot itemize for the now. This Battle Fury build, as we're seeing on a lot of cores, really coming back into favor. And for one of the reasons being that if the game, you know, mistakes are made by Liquid, you are going to have at least been farming at a rate that you will be relevant in the later stages of the game, where maybe you stand a better chance of turning things around. Because as for now, 14 minutes in, it's looking pretty grim for Nigma.
Yeah, GH is level 6 now. They're looking for a play.
That's it. They got the roll in onto Quaifa. Quaifa with the Yules. He's able to send himself up into the air, dodge out the MP. The silence is there. The blood bright's down. And now they've got to turn and run, Nigma. They will manage to finish him off with the Shikuchi from Mind Control. They get the kill onto Quaifa, but they've lost Weeha. Swap to the side. Insania trying to break himself away. Will turn with the magic missile. Tiger looking to get a position. The call. It catches the two of them. The egg. It's going to be successful. Mind Control is trying to get it down.
They get it.
They get it. They're able to do it. This is Nigma with the
my
turnaround.
God.
They're able to finish off the egg. Shikuchiing forward. They could try for Boxy and Mixie too. Boxy and Mickey, they're the last two left alive. Mickey, he turns though. Kuro, he falls. Boxy and Mickey, they're still fighting. They're still strong enough to just fight them back as the two of them. Another dunk from Boxy. There's Miracle. He's going for the TP out. Oh, the dunk's a little early. Wasn't quite low enough to nuke out. But Nigma, it looked like they were going to make the turnaround happen. They do manage to take down the egg in time. But the problem is, Boxy and Mickey are just that far ahead enough that they can tackle them even when Nigma have the advantage in numbers.
It was definitely scared. I was very impressed with the way that Nigma actually took that fight. They were able to kill that Razor super quick because they focused everything on him, caught them off guard. They get the egg. But yeah, like you said, these two, the important ones, staying to the end. Mickey with that thirst building up, he just was able to clean up at the end there.
Yeah, it was having the power of the Weaver with the Germinate and Mind Control is able to do a good job of taking down the egg, and he wasn't caught in the initial call, so him being the main reason why Nigma were at least able to get those kills and make sure that fight was not an entire wipe.
Full Maelstrom now finished on Mickey. And Boxy, I believe, that's the Vanguard too? And level 12, so now he has that higher threshold, up to 325.
Mid. It's time with Mickey a little bit. Taking away some of this mana. As we are still trying to find the gold to get that Spirit Vessel done. Miracle's farm, Yash is out. He can continue to proceed towards the Battle Fury, but it's going to take him a fair bit of time.
They're still just looking for some kills here. Ward on the high ground. Taiga will use Fire Spirits. We'll be able to get that one taken out.
I want to try and get the jump on Weeha. He's poking around these trees. The line's been drawn, and Sania and Boxy going a long way round via the river. Miracle taking the outpost away. On his own, though, Boxy, not really quite the damage. He needs to catch him in the creep wave or in a camp to have a job of bringing him down with enough Whirling Axe procs.
Looks like both teams are content with farming for them. I mean, Nigma, of course, they want to be able to get this time to farm, but Liquid looks like they're okay with this. They're fine. They're okay just backing up and farming. They know that they have this advantage right now. Just trying to pick up a little bit more of those items. Both going for the double BKB, both Koikfa as well as Mickey, which looks to be quite strong this game when you're playing versus an Invoker. If you get BKBs that early, that does, you know, Invoker does not do much of anything.
Say both teams using this time as best as they can. Liquid, even though they have the lead, yeah, they're cool to work towards the next big items. With Halberd coming on Tiger next up on the list. Quofa's BKB, Boxy. See what he does decide to invest into next. Already 1,000 gold on top of the Blink Vanguard.
Tiger's expecting something moving up here. He has that ward on the side. He did see GH as well as Mind Control. Looks like he was probably calling to say, like, if they go on me, Boxy, be ready. And Boxy was definitely looking over there. Speaking of BKB, also Boxy going to be going one for one. So, yeah, triple BKB will be the big timing that Liquid's looking for to just probably just steamroll the team fight and then look for a Roche, because they can take Roche at a pretty good pace, too, on their side.
Yeah, they're going to hit a huge peak of power with those triple BKBs.
GH.
Stop. Good positioning from Tiger, blocks off the rolling boulder, manages to keep him in with the static link. He's burning him low with the Sun Ray. See if it should be enough. GH, yeah, no rolling bottom for 6 seconds. The Sunray does get put to an end, though, and Tiger's getting gone on. He'll get the egg out. Mind Control is able to turn, but there's the Yules. Quakefa sends him up into the sky. Doesn't matter. He's still able to get down and kill off the Supernova. Mind Control will manage to take that kill and escape into the trees with a quick TP.
Nice try for the Yules play. That was a good attempt to try to get that egg to pop. 1-for-1 trade.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Look like they're trying to get aggressive down bottom here, Koifa, leading the charge.
Has been scanned, so Nigma are aware. Miracle's actually going to charge straight into it. It's over towards Insania. Koifa pokes at the side, starts to get the link going, but it will be broken. He decides to bail on Insania. They're bringing the numbers down here, Nigma. They'll kill off the Venge, and they're going to be hunting to see if they can catch anything
Mind
more.
Control's on Boxy. He's actually slowing him down and burning his mana with that defusal.
Yeah, the rest of Nigma are also coming across to help out Mind Control. Potentially continue to fight into Liquid here. Another Shikuchi forward. He knows there's no Supernova 2, still on cooldown for nearly a minute. As the defusal slow onto Tiger, will jump to the side, and with the blood right out, the space will be cleared for the rest of Liquid to escape.
Nice way that Nigma actually approached that one there. Just throwing out the scan, and then Miracle just dives forward there, knowing that they can have the rotations, and then Mind Control. They know that the Axe TP top, so he just chased him and drained his mana along the way. Now mid.
Step forward, Magic Missile onto GH. He's getting burst pretty quickly. The swap as well, keeping Weehar in range. He's shielded up into the sky. There's 4 of them here. Weehar cannot run. Jump forward, Boxy with the dunk.
Godlike. 10-1 and 2.
Yeah, the king of the game right now.
Oh, and the silence. It actually catches Mind Control up top with the rupture. Is he gonna go down? He is. A monster kill for Mickey as well.
I mean, that's a pretty big one for Mickey, considering Mind Control. He was kind of the top performer on Nigma's side up until that point. So Mickey getting that solo. That's a huge jump forward for him. Down bottom, Miracle will pop the ult. Liquid able to peel him away. He's too low. Bam! Boxy comes in with the dunk. They'll head over towards Kuro, diving past the towers. Kuro's taken out. GH has got to remain hidden.
This is getting out of control. It's BKBs are now all going to start coming online, and Nigma, even before these BKBs are finished, are having no success at attempting to take these fights. Liquid and Insania even taking out the majority of the wards that I've seen been placed. Yeah, these next few moments are just going to probably get worse for Nigma. As look at Liquid, they're just constantly chasing. Do they have a dust?
Oh.
Tiger, you have a dust.
Oh, did he?
Oh, Tiger.
Oh,
yeah,
he did.
He was too focused on his tome to get the level 12 for his Supernova.
You know, classic support, you know.
Yeah, he was looking elsewhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, poor Tiger. Didn't
They would have
catch it
definitely
right
had
there.
that kill, though, if he popped it. But, yeah, his focus was elsewhere.
I mean, maybe it was the big brain players like, dude, I don't care about killing Weehar. I'm saving my dust for Mind Control. You know, he doesn't want to waste a dust on the Invoker right now. He knows the Weehar's behind. He's saving it for the bigger stuff.
Level 12 now, though, on this Phoenix. Let's take a look. So level 12 is the 4 position on Liquid. Let's take a look at the supports on Nigma. Oh,
it's a big jump. It's a big creep wave. They're going to have the damage to bring down low enough. I mean, he's got no ult. He's got no ult. He's got no safety and no backup.
I mean, these you know, we always talk about gold lead, 12,000. The experience disparity is unbelievable this game. It's getting close to a 20,000 experience lead
on top
at the 20-minute mark.
It's another catch. It just doesn't stop. Boxy, 12, 1, and 4. BKB gold is basically there.
Bring up bring up those hero levels on the side there. Look at that. 17 Razor, 12 Troll.
Bottom. We are.
Bottom.
He does get the kill, but he may just die for this. This time, Tiger comes in with the dust. He's not going to mess it up this time round. They've got the Yules to put the rolling boulder to an end. Liquid, they're going to be able to clean up those two as well. 29-10 at just 22 minutes in. There's nothing that can stop this man and nothing that can stop this whole team. There's Liquid. I mean, we saw a glimmer of this yesterday in their series. There's just no messing around from Liquid anymore. They are just turning up, and they're steaming through these games.
And the way that they picked, the way that they drafted too, right? Like they wanted this Razor. Like the way they snap picked their heroes, they knew the kind of style that they wanted to play, and Nigma is just not prepared for this at all. All 3 lanes going successful for Liquid. From the start until now, it's been pretty damn clean.
I just look at Quakefa. Quakefa's nearly double anyone's net worth on the side of Nigma.
Oh,
top lane. It's another call. It's another catch, and of course, it's another kill.
Triple BKBs are now finished for Team Liquid. They're coming out on their couriers.
So they can run down Boxy. They've got to kill him, but the Tornado, not quite there.
He's
Neither
really tanky.
is the EMP, as We might have to go back to Hogwarts, as this just ain't working out.
Oh,
We will
my
die.
God.
Miracle, he's dead as well.
I think they might call it in a second here.
They might just. This was a rough one. I love to see the Invoker, but this hero, it just seems so hard to get it working in pro play right now.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of teams try, and they try, but it's never much more than that. It's a hard hero to play.
It's tough because like he has these weird peaks because his laning phase is just not. It's just not good. And then he's not a wave clear ever, so your mid laner just has no wave clear. So you have to be playing and roaming around, just trying to take fights constantly. I mean, he just died in the lane. He couldn't play versus Razor, who's a lane dominator. And it's just been super clean plays from Liquid all around. 17,000 gold lead, experience above 22,000. This is going to be painful to watch the next few moments.
Yeah.
If you're a Nigma fan.
Mind control. Oh no, be careful. Just stay in those trees. Do not come out. Do not come out. Do not. He came out. He came out. He came out. And he died. He should have stayed in the trees. Should have stayed in the trees.
And now mid, look at Boxy, no hesitation. He saw something. Weehaw?
Oh, Koifer's got the slow on Kuro. He's diving in on the Oracle. Kuro tries for TPS. Just let me out of here. It's not gonna happen.
Oh, look at top two. Look at they're killing everywhere. They're killing from lane to lane to lane. GH.
It just doesn't stop.
Oh,
the
silence?
TP! Oh, he tried.
He tried.
He tried. Nice try. Nice try. Wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough. Sorry. 3 dead on Nigma yet again. 36 to 10. It's a messy one to start the day. It really is. And for Nigma, a very clean one from Liquid.
Yeah, they look great. I love this. I really love this draft. I feel like it covers so many of their bases. The only thing that we were talking about is they did lack a little bit of wave push, right, on the 2 supports. But when you dominate your lanes and you're able to just play at this pace, you don't really have to worry so much about your supports pushing out lanes because you're just always grouped together. And
There we go.
there, the base is already getting knocked on.
Time to go.
We are?
We are. Don't stand there, sir. I mean, he has the false promise back up, so they will at least be able to save him a little bit, but he's going to have a lot of damage coming down on him. They
He
send
looks
him up
pretty
with
dead.
the Yules. Insania is inside the base. Weehard dies. He'll buy back. The Supernova's out. This time there's no one in position to hit it. They've just got to run away. It's a dunk onto Miracle. Liquid, they're onto the tier 3s. And yeah, Weehard was just sort of standing there at the front. I mean, he was chilling. Liquid, they've got no chill. They ain't got time for anybody trying to stand there and have a bit of a... It's just over. Box. It's... Right, let's go next. Let's go next, shall we? It's all... Let's see. Boxy. In again. Catches Kuro. Mind control. He's looking at Boxy. They do have the silence, but that is it.
They just have to watch. Look at the 2,500 HP on the Axe with the Vanguard. They don't even have. They just don't have the damage. They just don't have anything here at this point. They're gonna try to hold through it, but
We're seeing those numbers yet. Quakefer, he's got the same amount of farm as Miracle and Mind Control put together right now.
yeah, 665 GPM. Pretty damn good. 16-1 and 9.
I mean,
Can't really ask for much more.
He has the same amount of farm as Weehar plus the 2 supports of Nigma put together. Wait, no, and
More
plus
than that.
and plus Miracle. I mean, he's got the same net worth as 4 of the members of Nigma put together right now.
Yeah.
At just 27 minutes in as well. That's the thing. This game it's not even late. This is still pretty early.
This is one of the bigger leads we've seen. I mean, it's almost
This
1
early,
kick
it's so
per
early.
minute. Yeah. It's like we said, the experience too. It's above 30,000 experience lead. Now they're just backing up, farming. They're just chilling. They got no rush. This game is clean and in the bag for them.
Yeah, we've got Quake for 1,000 away from Satanic, and he's got the status resist stream, having the good old Titan sliver. SNY Satanic, you cannot touch him.
Oh my God, he is actually going to have all of that
got
already.
the
I mean, they
dream.
couldn't even hurt him before.
No, they did the once.
They
one,
did the
one
once.
death this
They got
game.
the once bottom.
Who hasn't died? Mickey hasn't died this game, and I mean Boxy. Yeah, he's only died the once.
Insania's got the 6 deaths. He's the one who's just like, that's his job.
It is.
Yeah.
That's his job.
Mind control.
Oh, don't show yourself mind control. Just stay in the invis. Just stay right there. Battle Fury is done on Miracle. The comeback can now begin.
Step 1 of 10.
Yes. 10,000.
10,000, sorry.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Weehaw. He's got the meteor. He wants to clear the creep wave. They're ready for him though, Boxy. Oh, the range creep. It's all.
Boxy's actually, he's heading over towards mind control's area. He wants to catch that bug.
Oh, it's scanned.
He scanned him.
It's beautiful.
Bug detector activated.
He's waiting.
He's waiting.
Fists are up.
He knows what mind control is going to come out and clear the wave.
He knows.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
he's
hunting.
expecting it.
Oh, and
He's
got
cutting
him.
all the trees even.
Out of the invis, into the blade mail. Is it enough damage? It's not. He'll still get the time that's off. Goes for the TP out. And that will save him. Mind
Okay.
control will live today.
Space. I mean, Nigma, they know at this point they can't play normal Dota. This is not a game of normal Dota for them anymore. The only way that they can have any type of success in this one is just playing, cutting creep waves, and just hoping for some type of massive mistakes by Liquid, but it'll take so many as Weehaw.
He's got the Essence Ring. And with the Ghost Walk, and with the dust, it does catch him. Oh, Boxy tries for the call.
Thirst, they can see him now.
They're
as well.
chasing. Run, little wizard, run! Oh. Another kill for Boxy.
And mid, Miracle. He showed his face.
He's not going to be fine here. He does have the ult. Does get swapped back, and won't even get the chance to press the ult. He's dead. The slaughter continues. Liquid up to the high ground. They have a fortification, Nigma, to buy them a moment of time. But Liquid aren't going anywhere. Swap back on Sakuro. False promises himself. With the damage, it's going to be, there's no maths to be done here. He is dead. He's very, very dead. No buyback available on Kuroki. He's out of the game for 70 seconds. Liquid now onto the barracks. Don't have the creeps with them quite at this moment in time, so the racks will live for another moment. Tiger is bringing the bottom wave round. Boxy's on another mission of bug hunting, by the looks of it. We're seeing if he can catch Mind Control, but Mind Control's just making his move straight towards the mid in an attempt to skip the creep wave.
Is he just trying to get courier? Maybe he's just trying to get 9 couriers.
Barracks are under attack.
Nah, he's just going for the creeps. 9 is... I mean, there is going to be a courier passing over this way. So
Look, there's going to be a lot of them. They have so many items that are being delivered, you know?
I mean, dude, if you get... That's a Basha. That's a Basha. Oh, but now they're aware. McKay's got to be careful. He's going to take the courier away from that mid lane area. He's keeping it safe.
Yeah, like you said. He's mostly going for the creep waves. He's trying to slow it down, but... Slow down for what? As Liquid, they don't care. Raxes are taking mid on their way bottom with that creep wave. Weehaw, he's standing there.
He's always on the front. He's always on the front.
And Boxy just knew. He's just like, oh, he's done it 2 or 3 times already.
He's just going to be standing there.
Yep.
Every single time he's on there at the top of the stairs, just enjoying his life, having a look out at the open vista from the high ground, and suddenly Boxy jumps in, the big old axe, and smashes him out. Now roll forward, GH, he's in the blood bright. He's silenced to dead, so is Kuro. There'll be a buyback for GH. But this bottom Rax is gone. As Liquid, they just charge in. They're happy to fight Nigma up to the fountain. Up. Right up to
mangoes.
Oh.
Look at Mickey. He's like, oh, mangoes.
Oh, the
I love
great
mangoes.
mango heist of 2020.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And the tier 4s. Liquid. A clean, beautiful game by them.
There's the GG.
Back to the drawing board for Nigma a little bit.
Yeah. This game 1 was probably one of the roughest games we've seen here at the Blast Bounty Hunt. Just 32 minutes of just constant beatdown. Liquid, 48-11, 31k lead. I mean, they lasted 32 minutes. That's pretty impressive, I'd say. This game could have been over a lot quicker, so there is a little bit of a silver lining for Nigma. It's not that great, though, and it's not really that thick. It's very thin silver lining. Overall, Liquid, easy game. Very easy game for them, Fogged. I mean, Nigma, you're looking at this match, and what are you saying next time around? Do you have to take away the Boxy axe, or can you let him have it? You just can't leave him in a 1v1 where he's able to get 100 CS in kind of 8 minutes or something ridiculous like he did? I
mean, a lot of things went wrong for them, right? Their tri-lane lost. I mean, they essentially lost all 3 lanes, right? So the game already from there becomes super difficult when you have an Invoker draft and you have no moves. You can't actually move to any lanes to make any plays because you're so far behind already at that point. So I think they just had a lot of problems happen, not just the axe. But yeah, Boxy, phenomenal game.
Yeah, they're just a pure highlight reel for Team Liquid there from start to end, as Nigma are going to have to completely reset themselves coming into Game 2, as their plan didn't get off the floor this game. They were just stuck at level 1 for the entirety of this game in terms of progression. This was all in Liquid's favor, all in Liquid's lead. We'll see what happens in Game 2, don't go anywhere, but Game 1 is dominated and taken by Team Liquid.
Hey everyone, this is Nico Baby from Team Alliance, and I'm trying the Betway Skill Shot Challenge to see if I can get the highest score at Blast Bounty Hunt. 3, 2, 1, start. Right, I'm not missing it. Sure. So far, not a single miss. Now it's Mirana on the... I'm so good at this game. Alright, I missed the arrow. Next, Smars. This game is kinda cool, actually. Playing Mina next. Lena is next. Alright, I missed one. Shadowfen is the last one. My final score is 4.9k. I think I did pretty bad. But you can try it yourself and share your score online with hashtag #SkillShotChallenge. And next up is a Dota 2 caster, Purge.
Well, just like we saw Nico Baby crush the Shadow Fiend part of the challenge just now, it was Team Liquid that was crushing it. You can see the happy faces. They know they're crushing it. They crushed Nigma, of course. That game was not even remotely close. And here with Cinder and Purge, we're gonna break that game down. And I think the game like that, the game started, and you guys both were in a little bit of a disbelief at how Nigma ran their lanes.
Yeah, I was honestly just baffled. Like, you're playing against Axe. You are probably expecting this Axe to go into the offlane. The reason I liked Nigma's draft was that I thought they were going to safe lane tri-lane the Axe and make his game difficult. Like, flat out just run that lane over, put mind control a little bit sacrificial in this game on Weaver in the offlane, and then because of that you could slow down the initiator of the enemy team. But instead, they've played this axe strategy themselves a lot of times. They know Boxy is going to get huge from this lane. So they were willing to do this. I guess they just expected that they would win the tri lane, but it kind of broke even. And then they got crushed mid, which is just a bad matchup. And Weeha made a pretty big mistake getting killed. So like, I don't know, 2 to 3 minutes into this game, it's already looking pretty bad.
Yeah.
And you hate to see that.
And when you go even in the off lane, tri lane, then that means that when the lane starts getting a little bit hairy, you need to go jungle, for example. So, and I won't even say that it went even. Miracle died a couple times in this lane. I don't think Bloodseeker ever did. So it just felt like Nigma lost all 3 lanes in a big way, especially because it's even easier for Axe to come rotate. This is the first time they ended up trying to pressure him here. And this is a nice rotation by them, but the problem is that he just has so many levels. He's level 9 here at 8 minutes. It's ridiculous. And look how much armor he has already. With the ring, the 3 rings, and the phase boots, it's crazy. So, and even his mistake here on GH didn't cost him that much because he ends up getting the kill anyways and buying a lot of time for Weeha. So, and they're just constantly pressuring everywhere. There's Troll dying another time in the offlane position. And then what Boxy did after this was he went to pressure Miracle in the jungle. Miracle's like a level 5 Troll Warlord against a level 9 Axe pressuring him. Like, how's he supposed to limit that?
I mean, I think that's a question they were trying to answer the entire game. This was a fight that Nigma actually had their first big glimmer of hope, because this team fight does end up going pretty decent for them, considering their state of the game.
It showcases what could have been, right? Like, they are already extremely far behind in this game. And, you know, as much as we're harping on this laning stage from Nigma, you also got to give credit to Liquid. It's one thing that Nigma put the lanes the way they do. Liquid played awesome in all 3 lanes. Everybody showed up and performed really, really well. I'm especially impressed with their tri-lanes' ability to trade so well on the brink of death all the time, basically, on their heroes. Koikvat obviously trashed mid. You know, Nigma did choose to pick an unfavorable matchup, so that one is less surprising. And then Boxy is free farming as expected. So everybody just did very, very well this game. And it makes for a very stompy game when you win all 3 lanes and the enemy team kind of needs to play catch up the rest of the game. They didn't have what it took.
And it's so hard to play catch up. But this is an amazing play by Boxy here. Instantly kills bottom. So the smart thing he was doing, he was walking to lane to gank somebody, and immediately after he gets that kill, he backs off into darkness, and then he always TPs to another tower and instantly looks for a second kill. Because then a normal player will say like, oh, well, they ganked bottom. Well, at least that buys me a couple seconds to like be fine in my lane. But if he just instantly walks to those lanes the first place and then TPs to a different location, he can get 2 kills right in a row, and that's why the game felt so fast. Like, it was hard to tell that a TI winning team was on the other team. It just looked like average players getting stomped because they had such a massive gold advantage, and we don't normally see outliers like this. This was like utter domination, constantly moving, not giving them any space. So it was excellently played by Liquid.
Yep.
Yeah, more specifically, excellently played by Boxy. He did. We mentioned it. We got a lot of freedom on that lane, but he absolutely crushed it. Would definitely give him the MVP of the lane. We talk a lot about Boxy, and in relation to this team, especially because back in the day when they were still Alliance, also it was if Boxy had a good game, this team would have a good game. Like, they would win if Boxy had a good game. And the last couple of games we've seen from them, Boxy didn't just have a good game. He had an amazing game. He is set up for success like that. And this is basically the whole game could be a Boxy highlight reel at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I feel about this player, right? Like, giving Boxy a free game is very, very dangerous. And compared to, I would say, some other offlane players, I wouldn't say he is an expert at playing from behind. So I feel like there's like double value in trying to shut this player down in lane because of how insanely well he plays from ahead and how he you don't want to, if you're an Nigma player or fan, you don't want to see that face, right? You just don't want to see it. So try to ruin his laning stage and turn that smile upside down, you know? Make it a frown.
I mean, upside down, it would still show a lot of teeth. It would still be pretty.
Actually, it would be really scary.
You could just take that exact face when he's losing, and it would honestly fit. You'd be like, I'm still very uncomfortable.
That's true. I kind of feel like this game, you know, we started off this series listening to Mind Control, where he said, you know, we don't really know who has the edge in this game today, in this series today. It depends on the day. It depends on who shows up and what kind of form you show up in. And then on the other side, we had Taiga saying, well, we talked about this intensely, and we're gonna play faster. We're gonna do, you know, we're gonna not think as much. We're just gonna play, and that seemed to be the better strategy. They were more prepared, it felt like.
Yep, they picked heroes that could snowball very well if they win their lanes, and that they won their lanes. And I think to me the most impressive thing about Liquid's game here is how few mistakes they make. Because this tri-lane, it might look relatively easy what they're doing, but like I said, it's so much on the edge. If they make a couple of missteps in that lane, maybe Nigma get a couple of extra kills, and suddenly the balance of that lane could shift entirely. But they just played super well in all 3 lanes, made tons of aggressive moves with very minimal casualties, and that's, it's good Dota. When you're ahead, stay ahead like that.
Indeed, and I don't think a lot of people would have said that Razor would be getting first blood most today. And I also don't think a lot of people would have predicted that it would be Koikfa that is on top of the chart in terms of kills gotten during the games. That was also one of the predictions of today. So yeah, impressive all around, kind of feel.
Yeah, I think Koikfa flew under the radar a little bit that game just because it felt like Boxy was all over the map, but Koikfa solo killed Weehaw in the mid lane. That was massive. Like, he's one of the 3 lanes that was won. That was because of his nice play. And he was also participating in these team fights extremely well. He had like a huge amount of kills, like 16 kills by the mid game. It was like 24 minutes in, he had 16 kills. He did an excellent job as well. It was really just a full Team Liquid excellently played game. But definitely worth mentioning Koikfa in that match.
Yeah. He got first blood, so he has lane advantage, and then I feel like Koikfa is a very good player at playing with lane advantage. A lot of players will, overall the field has kind of got better at this in the last couple of years, but he's very good at pressing the advantage to the limit. He knows the matchup is favorable, he knows he has an extra few hundred gold from the first blood, and he's going to take it to Weehan, just pressure him that extra bit hard, so that even one mistake in that lane from Invoker, an already unfavorable lane, turns it into a complete stomp instead of just a loss.
Yeah,
So,
impressive showing team effort all around. Obviously, for Nigma, they got told by Owen to go back to the drawing board, but they don't have that much time because the draft is very soon upon us for the 2nd game of this series. What do you say? You're the coach of Nigma at this point, Synderen. What do you say? What needs to change as we are in the draft here?
I think the most important thing is you don't overthink it. Like, every team has games where they just mess up. I personally still stand by. I think the way they put their lanes was wrong, and I think maybe this last pick Invoker was a bit too optimistic because they picked it into a losing matchup. But don't psych yourselves out, It's next game, you get a new draft, you secure your lanes a bit better, and you are an experienced team. You know that game was almost out of reach after minute 10. So the last 20 minutes is kind of you playing for an extremely low win percentage. And as long as you don't feel like, oh man, you just bury yourself more and more in that game with every death, and you understand what the conditions are, you should be able to go for a new game. These players are super experienced. I don't think they're...
Yeah, the secret here is just you need to understand why you lost the game, and as long as you can figure that out rapidly, then the rest of the game doesn't really matter. You're just playing out something. You're like, okay, we lost because of X reason, and it makes it less emotionally intensive, and will hopefully keep your mind clear.
Queen of Pain made it through, by the way. For everybody that predicted Queen of Pain to get first blood, she is in the pool.
Instantly picked, yes. All right, are we going to see the first Queen of Pain Arcana?
I mean, we better.
In Pro Dota 2, assuming it hasn't happened in the last 12 hours.
I mean, it's a flex pick. Who would play it?
I think they all have high enough level on their battle pass, right?
No, because I think GH doesn't have any levels on the account that he's playing on.
They don't play Quap 4. They would play it on Mind Control or...
Mind Control's been playing it almost exclusively for them so far.
Yeah.
Okay, well then
Mind Control always has high level battle pass.
I think we're good, yeah.
Okay. It's how did you guys like the Queen of Pain release video? It was a little interesting.
I was put off by her face. I did not expect her face to be so, like, I liked it. Let's put that one forward first. I liked the video a lot. I did not expect her face to be a little bit Disney-esque or Pixar-esque. Her eyes were Pixar-esque, I thought.
I mean, she is a succubus, so I mean, those other things also suck in a lot of viewers, I guess.
What?
10 seconds remaining.
It was very the video was very BDSM. It was weird. I was like,
I haven't seen the video yet. I just love the concept art. I still have that video to go. I need to see it. But yeah, I saw a little bit of what's it called, a preview or whatever of the Arcana, and the effects looked really cool. I think the model was very well made, and I had really high expectations because the art was so good. So I'm not let down. I think it's really, really good.
Okay. Yeah.
The second style is dope too. Maybe a couple of people will be like, it looks too much like Venge, but
That
I
would
think
be
when
me.
you see it in the game, I don't think you will like the silhouette.
Okay. But
I
Venge
don't
has
feel
some
like
sets
it will
with
be
big wings too.
Yeah, maybe.
It's true.
Maybe it's. Maybe
I
it's
like the
good.
redness. I like let it be red, please. That would be
Yeah, we're gonna talk all about this Arcana, and then it's not even gonna be equipped or something.
There's a chance of that too. I must
Mind
say,
Control will definitely have it.
you said we had talked about Dragonite in the previous game because Dragonite has not been doing too hot at the moment, while Mirana has been super hot. You want Dragonite to be picked only when you set him up for success in multiple roles, because it is a flex pick. Was that? Could you repeat a little bit the point that you were making? Because I'm kind of butchering it at the moment.
So the main thing I've seen is that teams have rated this Dragonite pick really high because he can go to multiple lanes, but then in many games we've seen Dragonite offlane just basically have no game. If a Dragonite offlane gets countered in lane, it feels like a liability a lot. So I think it's very, very important if you consider the flex pick and pick it this early that you find a way of covering your bases, and I think Nigma should try to exploit it. If they can counterpick the Dragonite in 1 or 2 lanes, you isolate him to the 3rd lane, and you can strategize around that.
The other thing that really defeats him is having a decent amount of magic damage. If you are running some physical damage lineup, or you have a hero like Venge who relies on minus armor amplifying your team's right clicks, then he's going to be a lot more survivable, but he's already up against a Maledict and a Queen of Pain, so it might be a bit iffy for him. Clockwork is a bit of an interesting pick. Not very effective against Mirana is the obvious thing, but against the other 2 heroes, it can be pretty effective. Lots of magic damage, can separate team fights. It's still decent against Oracle, even outside of damage type, because you can go on Oracle and separate him from the guys that he wants to save. So a bit of an interesting pick, but I'm down for it. I think it's a good game for it right now.
Clock versus Oracle is one of those matchups that I would count as kind of the heroes counter each other in a way. Because Clockwork is like 90% magic damage, and you have Fate's Edict, so anybody Clockwork is on, you can save very easily. But at the same time, if Clockwork goes on the Oracle, you can zone it out of the fight entirely, and then if Oracle has to save himself, you've already put yourself in a really good spot for the rest of the team fight. So, yep.
Are we looking at a mid Earth Spirit again?
It could be, or it's a Mirana core, which
I
is
think
also
it's
possible.
Mirana 3.
Okay.
It's slightly. Oh, I guess. Sorry, I was thinking it was Nigma picking it, but yeah, Mirana 3, very possible. Yeah. They don't know what the core matchup is, but Mirana 3 plus Earth Spirit could be a pretty straightforward arrow combo. You could put Mirana with Oracle as well if you really want to. That's a really easy arrow combo. Maybe not the best damage follow-up, but. And now we're looking at core heroes for Nigma to round out the rest of their lineup.
Yeah, how are we doing on intellect heroes compared to agility heroes? Ooh.
It was bad last game, dude. It was 5 agility heroes, 2 int, 3 strength.
Yeah, we
and now we are
3
looking at 3 int. It's okay, but another 3 strength and 2 agi. So int has got a lot of ground to catch up.
Yeah.
The Razor and the Bloodseeker really threw us for a loop in the last game.
Mm-hmm. 10 seconds. What do we think about the Meepo?
It's a very good Meepo game. Liquid, there's 2 things I look for when it's Meepo. The one is, do you have heavy single target damage? Because obviously you only need to kill one of them, then they all die. And the other one is, do you have heroes that can either survive getting jumped by Meepo for an extended period of time and extend the fight, or heroes that don't rely on mobility, because Meepo shuts it down very well. This hero is, for example, extremely good against Mirana. I would say it's also a very good hero against Earth Spirit in a lot of situations. If you get a dagger, just jump him and kill him. He can't get away. Dragonite fares pretty well. I think that's the one hero Liquid has that's okay against Meepo, because he's tanky. He has Breathe Fire that affects all of the Meepos, so that helps.
A lot of damage reduction.
Yeah, but outside of that, it's a really good Meepo game. And you're also got to look at it from Nigma's perspective, right? You got destroyed. Now you wanna be the ones putting pressure. You wanna throw a curveball here and catch the enemy off guard. And how many games has Nigma done this? Even at TI with Weeha and Meepo, it was their best hero toward the end of TI 9. Actually, they got a couple of key wins with that. Mm-hmm. So now that it's crunch time, you get into it, and you can. I mean, I don't want to read too much into it, but when you look at the Liquid cams, they do seem a little bit startled here compared to before. Boxy was trying to summon the Kraken or something with his his pose.
Yeah, he's trying to set time back so that they could ban Meepo instead of
What is happening? Dude, he needs to do that while he has his legs on the table. All right, that's good too. That's an anti-mage impersonation.
He doesn't want to see what Nigma's gonna pick next. What will they pick next? What hero do you feel like they are lacking? That's a
Missing their carry.
Missing Miracle Hero.
Yeah. I would like Miracle to not play true position 1 this game. I think when you have Meepo in this patch, that hero will often carry, and you want to play around. You can do both things. I'm personally a bigger fan of when the timings align with Meepo, so you have a carry that's really strong minute 20. Something like Bloodseeker or even Gyro, who I'm not saying they should pick that this game. I don't think it's a very good pick, but that style of carry would be nice. What's good against Dragon Knight? Pick.
You want to have
They do have
magic
Witch
damage?
Doctor. They do have Witch Doctor, so their laning is pretty strong.
Chen.
The Chen carry, of course. Interesting.
Wait.
So this is going to be a Miracle co-op, I'm guessing. Mind Control, Clockwork, and then the Witch Doctor Chen supports.
Yeah.
So it became a much earlier game lineup than
I
than it was.
really like this, because there is no way Liquid saw this coming either, right? Like, they have already noted down this Clockwork and Witch Doctor as supports, so whether or not this turns out to be really good, at least it's not something Liquid expected. And Nigma have great success playing these kind of timing pushes around Chen and Meepo. They love these two heroes together. The amplified healing, the natural aura timing. Again, you make sure your timings align now with one support that wants to play Meepo's kind of game. And now that Quap is your carry, it kind of fits the bill, right? This is a hero that peaks around that mid game. So it's honestly, it's looking good again. I like their draft last game as well, like I said. I do think the Invoker was a problem, but once again, they need to get the right lanes. This time there's not that big of a threat compared to last time with the axe, I would say, but...
I'm just really worried for Liquid's ability to kill Meepo if he starts doing well. Like, Earth Spirit's not going to do it well. Oracle's not going to do it very well without being threatened. The Mirana is not going to be as effective. You can't just, like, arrow the Meepo. Starstorm's going to be alright, but not incredible. And Dragon Knight's going to be kind of weak damage output. Like, yeah, I think he can get his Breathe Fire talent and reduce all the Meepo right clicks by 50%, but outside of that, they don't have a lot going for them against the Meepo, so it makes a lot of sense for Nigma to just put everything on top of Meepo's game here by making sure that nobody else is going to be delayed in fighting.
What about a carry Pango?
That sounds decent. You definitely need either a lot of AoE or single target
It gives you
damage.
disarm against Meepo, it gives you a shield crash. It's a really good matchup into Meepo, that's why I'm even considering it, because I think your pick now needs to solve Meepo, because your strategy doesn't. So they have to pick something crazy a little bit, because there's not very many carry heroes that you're just like, oh, we'll just pick this carry hero and Meepo's covered. It's usually not the carry that does that, it's the overall strategy or the combination that you can build. And I just don't think anything combines with what they have, except if the last hero really does a good job at it. There's just I don't know what traditional carry, so to speak, you would pick here. That
are we sure that they can't rotate?
Carry Shaker?
Yeah, because I
Shaker
was
too.
thinking maybe Shaker for Boxy and then have carry Marana or whatever, or it's going to be Shadowing. Never mind.
That's pretty good against Meepo. It's a good hero in lane. They're gonna play carry Marana, I think, and put Shadowfiend mid. It's a lot of damage. It's even more. I mean, the fear is kind of nice, I guess. To an extent, it doesn't. I'm not sold, but I think it's the right idea. Like you needed someone who can deal with Meepo, and now they at least have a lane counter and some serious damage. Yeah. So I think it's okay.
Right click wise, it'll be pretty good because even if it's not fighting Meepo, I think it matches up pretty well against the other 4 heroes. Lots of AoE. If fighting right click to right click, he'll beat Queen of Pain. Most likely, he'll be able to crush Witch Doctor generally. So, and he also works a lot better with Oracle as well as a good guy to use the ulti on, so that he can fight to the death with some lifesteal. So it's a bit weird. I wasn't expecting the SF pick, but it's actually a carry Dragon Knight then.
Make a
Make
DK
it
for
Dragon Knight.
Shadowfiend.
All right.
Okay.
I was actually pretty convinced they would put. My concern here for Liquid is once Nigma get their auras online with mech pipe Vlads, do you kill them or not? That's what it's going to come down to. Nigma will go for a Roche. If you can't win that fight and you give an Aegis to the Meepo, shit looks real grim. So gotta make sure that you can get off to the right foot in your lanes and win that very important fight, and then you should be good to go.
Are you happy with the mind control Chen?
Wait, he's champ?
Yes.
Whoa, I didn't notice. I don't know, man.
He's gonna buy the auras, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, have we seen that before? Has he ever played that in a pro game?
The only one I know who does offline Chen is 33.
Yeah.
Well, we know he can micro.
Skilled. Yep.
Yeah.
He knows how to micro, and I think Core Chen is actually very good in this game for the reasons we already mentioned with the auras. So I think the logic is sound, but I wonder how much experience he has with this hero in lane. It's obviously really important at this level of play.
I think it'll be fine because they're gonna be laning against Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight's not gonna do that much offensively, so Chen should just get a lot of farm himself, take a range creep from an enemy, and you might even be able to power deny and just stomp that lane actually. So one of the weaknesses of a safe lane Dragon Knight. So I like what Nigma's doing here. I think it can work.
Okay, well, let's see if it can work. It has to work for them to keep their tournament lives alive because it is elimination on the line here in the second game of the series. Let's head over to ODPixel and Fog.
Thank you, Shiva. Yeah, we're going to get to see it, Fox. And Weeha Meepo coming in at the last moment, fourth pick to see if it's going to be enough to allow Nigma to turn around a series that was off to a pretty rough start for them after game one. Is it going to be enough, Fox?
It looks pretty good, especially with the Chen, and them moving it as a core Chen is pretty interesting because then you can get the timings even faster. So you can get those auras online at the same time that the Meepo's looking to just cruise and take over the game. So, okay, yeah, it's interesting. And more importantly than anything, look at this Queen of Pain.
Oh, yeah. Let's look at this Queen of Pain. Miracle, of course, with that beautiful Arcana that you can get for the low price of level 455 on the Battle Pass. And honestly, I was playing with this Arcana this morning, folks, and I won 2 of the 3 games I played with it. That is many more than I should do when I'm playing Queen of Pain. So all I can take away from that is that this Arcana, it is pay to win. Now we'll see if it works in competitive, and if Miracle's going to get the win this game. But you know, you can't go against science. And,
yeah, no, I like this set quite a bit. The ult for me, the persistent ground effect is the one thing that throws me off a little bit because it stays for a second, and you're like, wait. Is that like a damage over time?
Dude,
That's
like,
the only thing that bugs
me. It kind of looks like there's like 2 fishes coming out at the side as well. It's pretty wild.
It's cool though.
Pretty
it's
wild.
pretty sick.
I mean, it looks amazing. And I can't. Well, you've got to get 1,000 hits with the Sonic Wave to unlock the alternate style.
Wait, it's 1,000 to get it.
1,000. I don't think it's kills. I think it's just hits with the Sonic Wave. Onto enemy.
So
heroes.
each one counts. Like if you hit, like, what if you hit 5 Meepos? What if you hit 4 Meepos?
It's on the wrong team. Yeah, I was gonna say it's on the wrong team. He could have been Arcana farming. Yeah, that's the real counter to Meepo.
Yep. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Koikfa, he's starting out with the quad mango this game for the lane. I wonder how much they're gonna address this. I'm expecting Taiga to actually move mid a lot this game. I feel like they're gonna leave Boxy at some point bottom by himself, and Taiga's just gonna keep roaming and just looking to set up on Weeha with some triple raises to shut this Meepo down to mess up the timing. But we'll see. I think that would be one of the really good ideas that he can do because it's a Chen clockwork. Like Mirana's gonna be just chilling down bottom, arrowing whatever creep that gets taken over.
Yeah, that's true.
He misses.
Should be under no threat of dying as the Mirana in this lane. And
missed the first range creep already with the arrow.
And I think the thing is as well with the 2 of them that they're not really going to get kills onto GH and Mind Control, right? They're relatively tanky, and Mind Control's got that aura with their headdress. They've got a lot of sustain, so. It feels hard for Liquid to make a play onto a hero in this duo.
Exactly. That's why I feel like it's just probably a better allocation of resources if he does make his way over there, because they're just going to get harassed pretty hard down bottom. GH does take a tower hit, but he's just fine.
Yeah. I mean, meanwhile, mid lane, Koikfa just landing the razors on his own. He's forcing Weeha to get that regen really ferried out to him. The razors, they absolutely hurt this Meepo every time he tries to step forward and clean the wave out. And Koikfa is off to a very solid start in the early levels.
He's already level 3, and he has the double mango at the ready too. He can already start priming Weeha.
Weeha's got to be careful. He's going to, again, potentially take a lot of damage if Koikfa does want to commit with them. We'll pop the first one. As Weeha just down to that last tango. I mean, sure, he can start getting extra regen out, but it's going to take a bit of time with the movement of the courier at this early stage of the game.
Yep, GH. He's actually trying to just pull some creep waves, it looks like, bottom for the Chen, so they can maximize a little better. Taiga is chasing, just to at least bother that one. Okay, so top, let's take a look at this lane. I don't think this is going to be a really exciting one. I don't really want to even look too much up here, because it's going to be an Oracle just dispelling off. I mean, if he does go for Shadow Strike, you see Miracle obviously has not skilled anything yet, save it for the Scream of Pain. And I think it should be a pretty passive kind of farm style up there.
And do you like this sort of draft style from Nigma where they say, well, we've got a Meepo. We are going to purely build around this very clean timing of with this off-lane Chen, this safe lane Queen of Pain, where you're investing everything into having this really powerful spike quite early in the game.
Yeah, I think it's a really perfect kind of option. And we've seen these Queen of Pains in the safe lane do well even when they're not playing on just a tempo kind of setting draft. They've actually been able to go for like these Orchid timings or something like that and actually become a real carry as well. And look at this, I mean, Koikfa, yeah, he's owning the lane. Weehaw actually just getting pushed away just because of that Shadow Fiend.
No, he's gonna
That's
have to
pretty
start
huge.
catching up in the jungle here to the side.
Yeah, I want Koik. Ooh, I actually missed that one. Wow. Okay, they actually were able to set up an aggressive play up here. Insania pushing himself up just a little bit too far versus that double range.
Dire's courier has been killed.
It has to be careful. They do have good bursts, and particularly when Kuro has the Maledict skill, the combination of that with a leveled up Scream will hurt.
If he takes it. Right now it's more of just a farmer, or more of a just kind of sustain. It makes sense too. This game, as we mentioned, for several different reasons, the aura and everything, it's going to make a lot of sense if he puts multiple points in the Voodoo Restoration. So this game, I was going to mention how Koikfa, I feel like I want him to build tanky, but also I feel like an early BKB or somebody to have a way to get him out of cogs. Shadow Fiend versus Clockwork is always one of those weird matchups where Shadow Fiend hates getting collapsed upon, even if he's ahead. And yeah, Clockwork always is going to be able to do that. So I would like Koikfa to try to go for that one early. Just some type of defensive item for himself. Will also luck out with the rune on an arcane top.
Yeah, very fortunate for him as well, because GH was also hovering around, seeing if he could get an angle on him.
Full bottom.
They're trying to make a go into mind control. Boxy's still got a leap. He's got the full tool set to go. As Boxy does have to back off as GH comes in. And that will at least save mind control, as mind control is able to keep himself out of the way. Boxy very low on the regen. Okay, he's got the back of the Tiger. Tiger did have a salve to top him up. But it is interesting that they do still decide to have Tiger down here. I mean, do you continue, like, even though he's sort of jungling in the camps, do you feel like Liquid could try and play up into the high ground and try and bully Weehaw in his positioning now, or is it a lot harder now that he's kind of left the lane as a meepo?
It's too hard now. He's got like the two meatballs. He's in the jungle constantly. They want to try to get kills. They might be able to get this one on mind control. They will.
All right, finally able to get the kill down here. Comes up to the bounty rune spawns. Arrow's going to be duked out by GH, so he'll be able to grab the one, and already Weehaw was able to get the other deeper in his jungle. So
they got all four.
They did. Good cash bonus for Nigma, and 5 minutes in, very even right now. Less than 1k gold difference in it.
Yeah, even though Shadow, as you mentioned, Koikfa's having that fantastic start. It's Meepo. He hits his level 4, goes to the jungle, catches up extremely quickly. Maybe now Taiga, I don't believe, does he have a ward? Should be, okay, not coming out on the courier. I thought maybe they'd give him the ward, but he already placed one at that bounty area on the right. So now he can start looking to kill whenever Weehaw does show his face. And they have a catapult, so that's the important one.
They're going to try it. They do manage to connect with the stun. A few raises would do it, but Weehaw's already able to poof out to the side. Jumps back, GH comes in with the TP, and Liquid have to retreat.
It's Arcane Rune Shadow Fiend, though, so he still has a lot of mana to work with. And to keep the... Ooh, Catapult actually does get taken out there. Wasn't able to keep it alive. But that was definitely the right move. I like that one by Taiga. He's trying to protect his ward, but yeah, Weehaw knew that they'd placed that one there. Immediately takes it out.
I'm looking at this top lane. Miracle's farm, it's not amazing. You know, he's certainly being kept held back a little bit, as the trade's being made there between him and Mickey, with Mickey having the edge in this lane right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
You have a good creep wave coming in underneath the tower too. What's the level timings? What matter the most here for Miracle? Once he gets that 6, he'll be more than prepared to make rotations and blow up any sort of dives that come in from Liquid.
Here's GH.
Wrapping around, Mickey trying to cut himself out of the cogs. He's out to the side. Tiger comes in with a reaction. There's a good kick as well, connecting on the three of them, slowing them all down. Mickey hiding in the trees. He'll be fine to regen up. And Koikfa with this rotation, they're all so low. They'll kill off Miracle. GH, he'll cog in Tiger, but he cannot keep himself alive, as they'll be able to clean up both of them. Nigma just diving a little too deep there.
They really wanted to push the issue because they still had their catapult alive, so they wanted to get the tower damage as high as possible while also going for that one, but just a little too overzealous. Not even able to get the kill versus that tanky DK, as he's gone the 3 points in Dragon Blood. Level 2 Maledict. He just sustains through it. 18 HP per second.
Back on towards mid. Weehaw will show himself. Tiger quite in range to get the roll off. They've got the ward down here as well, so good vision of Tiger's movements. But Tiger going to take that one out. Tower in the mid lane goes down. 7 minutes in, a very, really very quick tower taken.
And look, he actually does do exactly what I was talking about. First item BKB queued up. He's going to switch it as soon as I say that. No, he's not, but very good choice to go for that this game, so you can match the pace that Nigma's going to try to set. And for the reasons I said before, versus Clockwork, you almost have to go for this item on Shadow Fiend early.
Yeah, because is rushing a 4-staff just never really viable on the core? Does it just feel bad?
It doesn't get you as much as you'd like, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you want a Dragon Lance or a Hurricane Pike would be fantastic, but too expensive as bottom.
Yeah. See if they can finish him off. Boxy is turned upon, has been maledicted. Tiger's the focus, but there's the save. Insane is able to come in, provide a bit of heals. GH still staying on top, will be able to block out the rolling boulder. Tiger trying to run, a few more right clicks will finish him off. Nigma do manage to push the Earth Spirit out of the game. Keeping it even again. I mean, this is already a whole lot better for Nigma compared to what we saw at the start of game 1.
Yeah.
This is a close beginning. Weeha's getting as far
quite
as the Meepo.
He's far up. GH is there. They have the invis. Do they have detection for him?
They do. They've got the root. They've got him trapped.
They got him.
Big rotations from GH.
There's always going to be the scary thing about Shadow Fiend. Even if you're ahead, if you get collapsed on, you die so easily.
Miracle also coming over. Does have the Sonic Wave ready to blow.
Okay, he's actually queued up for... okay, he's going to be the one doing this aura at least. So he's kind of acting as that off-lane Quap that we've seen. He's going to be going for the mech, and Mind Control's doing Dominator.
I mean, how does that sort of affect the timing as well? Like, in what situation as a Quap are you going straight for the mech rather than the more common Necro book into the mech?
I guess they just really want to be able to just take advantage, and it's like Cinder was mentioning, right? It's all going to be about that first Roche timing, because then they can just take over the whole map. So I think he just wants to get it as fast as possible.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to get it quick, as you say. It's going to be online. As we say, we just don't see Quaps getting it as the first item. They're very... pretty much always is the level 1 Necro book on the way.
Yeah, because it's kind of like people. I know I've seen a couple people mention it's like a pseudo kind of Midas now in a way, because you're not only just getting the usage of it, which lets you farm everywhere, but you get so much mana regen from it, which is fantastic on a hero like Quap, who already has a natural way to farm with Scream of Pain.
Yeah, and one of the things when you do go straight for the mech is, you know, that plus your spells. That's kind of your whole mana pool gone. You know,
Yeah, he at least has a faded. He has a brooch at least, so it's at least a little bit extra mana than he has, and he's gone for Arcane Boots.
Now top Boxy. He gets one. Miracle's going to come in with the TP, trying to hold on to this tower. This tower is going to go down with the 3 of them pushing on. Mickey with the other Dragon Form steps over towards Miracle, but Miracle blows him up with the Sonic Wave. A little bit of a surprise from the trees there, as Mickey just underestimating the damage that will fly out. Miracle will blink over to the side, but Quakefa's here with a haste rune. The arrow connects, and Miracle is going to pay the price with his life. I mean, it looked cool.
It was. I mean, it was still a really good play by Miracle. You can't underestimate how strong Sonic Wave is early. 340 pure damage is just absolutely insane this early in the game. So it gets the kill for himself at least. Does not get a tower deny, so Liquid's still pretty happy with that movement, able to get that follow-up kill. Those are levels looking like for everybody. Level 6 is on both supports for Liquid. Level 5 still on the supports for Nigma. Everything else about even.
Into the jungle they go.
Miracle, yeah. Mind Control brings him down here.
It's going to be the root coming through, but already out with the blink to the side. Tiger looking towards GH.
That
GH
arrow.
Kicked into it straight away. Tiger able to find the perfect setup, getting him in reach of Boxy. Excellent coordination.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And we see Taiga, he's actually queuing up for an item which I was talking about a lot the other day on FNG, doing it on the Witch Doctor. Going for the Veil early. Really like it. They have so much magic damage that's going to be amplified up versus that Meepo.
Yeah, you need it against the Meepo, yeah.
Yeah, and in particular, too, you're going to be able to counteract the potential of them going for all those, you know, those auras. They're going to eventually go for the pipe and everything, too, so this will be a good way to at least nullify it a little bit.
How's talking about the Meepo, how's Wea's farm looking? He's halfway through the Eagle Song, already has the Ghost Scepter, so E-Blade will be there in, and, you know, sort of the timing that he'd expect to be getting as this Meepo. He is there at the top net worth, and his game is, you know, it's all on track for Weeha's Meepo. He's getting the space to clear up the jungle just as he would wish, as Liquid haven't really been able to get over here and pressure this Meepo's farm early on. He is going to hit this first item timing.
Yeah, it's always going to be tough to get like onto the opposing side of the map, even if you have good heroes to push out lanes. You're playing versus Chen. Chen's always just going to have creeps pushing in. You got rockets flying. And then Queen of Pain also pushes lanes in really fast, so... Interesting to point, Boxy's actually queued up. I don't know if he's going to switch, but he's actually just got a straight MKB queued up.
Yeah, dude, well, I know you had the series off yesterday, but he did this yesterday, and he smashed with it. He ended the game like 16-1-14. He went double Wraith Bands into the MKB, and then I think he went for the Daedalus straight up after it. He like went full right-click, and cool. He had an insane game. So this is sort of, as I did advise the viewers when we saw it yesterday, I was like, don't jump to do this straight away in your pubs, you know, go off lane Mirana and farm an MKB. But Boxy, he makes it work.
Sure, I mean, I'm down. I like MKB Maelstroms. Those are always like the neat item builds on Mirana that work really well for damage. Top, they're trying to set up for Miracle, but the wraparound.
That's a big wraparound. Yeah, GH and Kuro are here. They'll lead him with a hook shot straight away onto Quoit for Tiger jumping in to try and take a bit of the share, but there's the bounce over. False Promise comes in onto Quoit for the fear, pushes back the three of them. He turns with the raises, takes down Kuro. GH and Miracle have to back up. They did manage to blow up Tiger, but they do not get that SF as they would hope for.
I love that play, though, by Tiger. Oh, bottom. Mickey, he's invis. He's set up on MC.
He's going to start slowing him. Quoitfer looking to clear up the army, as he's going to get a fair few of these creeps. Dragon Tail to buy a bit more time, but looks like Mind Control. He's got the movement speed to get himself out of there. They won't be able to quite stay on top.
So that's cool. They talked about a little bit on the panel about like kicking people out of the cogs and stuff like that, but that's a pretty cool thing that Tiger can do is if Quoitfer is in a rough spot, he can just roll in and eat the death. Yep. He rolls in, kicks Quoitfer out, gets in position for the Oracle to save. That's definitely really nice. As 2 items picked up, DK now Blink, and that big timing for Nigma. The Ethereal Blade is finished. And I believe the mech as well is done for Miracle. It's about to be.
Yeah, just 100 gold off the recipe, and he's going to have it. They're going to smoke up. So this first reveal of the E-Blade, who's he going to find? That's an excellent lead-in. They managed to find themselves. The SF Tiger tries to roll across to help, but with the Sonic Wave, it's too much burst for Quoitfer to sustain. They kill off the SF, and now they can try and move in for more. They're looking to chase down Mickey. Mickey's Elder Dragon form will come to an end. He's still allowed to blink off to the side. They're trying to chase down Insania. There comes the E-Blade Blast to slow him down. They surround him, and Nigma would be able to take a second as We Are comes into play with this E-Blade and can start really putting the pressure onto Liquid as Nigma start to enter this realm of the game where their draft hits the power spike.
Yep. Huge power spike here. Now, Mech is coming out, like you said, and they kill the Shadow Fiend now right before he's about to finish BKB. That could have been pretty different there if he did have it finished up and he was able to actually get his spells off at all. But yeah, now this is changing the whole dynamic of the game as they're almost fully online with exactly what they want to have for the game. The pipe is about to be done. Mech is done. Everything's coming together.
All in on this moment for Nigma. Now that they are heading over towards the direction of Roshan, Liquid's going to have everyone alive. I mean, is it at a point, and with the items they have, that they can just step into the pit, or is that something they can't really get away with when Liquid is up as 5?
Ooh, should be scary because Shadow Fiend loses all his souls as well, right? When he dies, he loses half, so he's got to like kind of recuperate and build that up. They don't have Dragon form ready.
Okay, so you think Nigma could go in and take it?
They might just be able to, yeah. Level 3 Penitence as well. It should die at a decent pace. I don't know. It should be tough. No BKBSF. Maybe is he going to sell something to buy? I don't know. That's too much.
What's his money look like? Yeah.
He's got to sell something too big. He's got to sell like the wand. That's...
Yeah, selling the circlet is still going to leave you about 100 short.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Yeah, he doesn't want to get rid of the wand. He is going to have to head out and hit a creep.
And he doesn't have... I mean, he'll have Requiem by the time, kind of, when they're all set up around that Roche, but this one looks like Nigma should just be able to get away with it.
Yeah, and pretty much the timing that Liquid really needs to get done is Boxy's MKB. And then at least at that point, when the fights do kick off, he can leap in and just shoot someone down and have a pretty good shot of doing it. Obviously, there are ways to play around it. Nigma, having having the E-Blade, he can save the target.
Mm-hmm. It's also just scary to play Mirana versus Meepo ever. Your mobility is just non-existent. Yeah.
There we go. Into the pit they go. Arrow is out, but as expected, I mean, Boxy, does he really want to do this? I don't know. The hook shot will miss, and Tiger's going to try. He's in. And Mickey, he gets the snatch. The false promise is there onto Tiger, keeping him alive as well. Mickey gets in, gets the edges, gets out. The Magnetize as well, bringing Nigma low. They have to back off. Tiger will fall. Boxy jumps in from the back. He's killed off Kuro. The Magnetize is continuing to tick them down. Nigma has to escape, but they'll lose GH as well. Weehaw will manage to get out of there. Miracle and Mind Control still on the retreat. They will also get away, but the jump couldn't have been better there from Liquid getting in. They didn't get the kill, but they got what mattered. They got that Aegis, which would have been so important, a crucial pickup that Nigma needs to really add to their power spike. Liquid's just gone and taken that away from them.
I mean, that's the dream. That really is the dream. Slowing down a Meepo lineup, you get that Aegis now. Now you have your BKB timing on your Shadow Fiend too. This could turn out to be a really close game. This is pretty exciting. That is a huge move for them.
Perfect timing from Tiger and Mika with that blink, which I think it had only just been picked up before that play happened. Had it at the perfect moment.
Yep, and Boxy with that arrow from the back lines to kind of mess with them too, because they put some attention to him on a second there too, and then he gives all that information for his team to jump in. Super good for Liquid.
We'll see what the move now is for Nigma. You know, you got to imagine in their heads at this point in the game they would be pushing with an Aegis. They haven't got that Aegis, so things have slowed down a little bit again for them. At least, you know, more so than they would have liked.
Yeah, and now, like we said, they're versus that BKB Shadow Fiend who has the protection for himself versus all this is Taiga.
Link out from Miracle to the side, turns over towards Tiger, starts to punch back at him. Also with the wraparound, Kuro and Weeha, they're coming in, they're looking for Insania. Cars, oh, the bounces, the coconuts, it couldn't be better. Perfect coconut play there from Kuro. As the two of them, both Koikfa and Insania, caught right next to each other, holding hands and taken to the grave.
They still have, they still have all this timing coming together anyway. Even without that Aegis, all these auras, they're still relentless looking for the chase. Knowing that their power spike is still there even without it. They can still kill all the heroes of Liquid quite easily.
Boxy. Very close to completing that MKB. Just need to be wary. How's Weeha doing after the E-Blade? Yeah, they're so purely looking for this setup.
Is under attack.
And obviously the Silver Edge going to be incredibly useful, taking down a big old DK later on in the game once Mika does have a few items upon him. And most of the time, as you saw there, I think for Nigma, it's going to be about finding the supports. You know, if they're able to instantly take out Insania before the fight kicks off, suddenly, you know, even with the BKB, if this SF gets surrounded by an army of Meepos, he's still going to be slowly beat down.
Yeah, and there's also damage that will go through that BKB. There still is a Sonic Wave. There still is, we'll throw the Death Ward in too for Kuroki.
Nigma will finish off this tier 2 tower down bottom. Continuing to take the objectives at very good pace this game. 4K lead for them right now.
They're just going to have so much sustain in that side of these fights. How's our Mind Control Chen doing? Still at quite level 12 for that level 2 Hand of God, which gets quite a lot better from that 250 to 425. But they're going to have so many different forms of heal. Pipe, Greaves, I think are finished too. See how Liquid does choose to take these next few moments for themselves. They still have about a minute left on that Aegis. Do they want to press anything forward with it? Just guard their outpost, it looks like.
Yeah, scan comes in as Nigma start to sweep across towards them. Boxy showing in the lane, has finished the MKB. It's on its way out. GH
stalking him.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
He was invisible. GH couldn't see him, you know?
Oh no! Hey, mistakes happen. Mistakes happen to the best of us. Yeah.
The clock was all getting their hooks blocked.
He had plenty of they both sort of stood still before they tried for it. And then it was just bam! Right into the backside of Weeha. Oh my goodness. Well.
He's still stalking.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not gonna find anything though. They're well and truly out of there. And Boxy after that MKB into the BKB as well. Wants to make sure that he does have some sort of safety if the Meepo does get on top of him.
Yeah, he needs to. He already has his damage built in for himself with that, so. Koikfa, he's going raw damage as well. BKB into straight Crystallis. He actually gets fortunate of finding, I think this is a pretty good pickup here for the SF, is a Vambrace. You don't have the best stack gain, really. So this one actually just bumps you up, especially because you went for a first item BKB. It's pretty decent for him. And let's see the smoke.
They're making this move without without Quoifer and Insania, but at the same time they will show mid. Maybe this allows them to catch Nigma more by surprise. We are on the front. He's going to pop the Silver Edge, starts to step in there, pop the Moonlight Shadow. Mickey's going to try and jump to the back lines, but at the same time, GH is able to get to the back lines of Nigma, of Liquid. As they get in, they kill off the Mirana. The rest of Liquid, they've just got to roll out of it. Tiger and Insania on the retreat. Sentry's down, jump forward from Miracle. He's trying to go, but Quoifer's in position, and Miracle, he's jumped into a trap. As Quoifer was there, prepared. The temptation as a Quap, it's always going to be there to jump in aggressively. But with an SF waiting on the high ground, an instant death for Miracle.
Had to use the Requiem to, of course, get it, but you could tell that they were on full retreat. They can't take the fights versus Nigma's 5-man. They're too strong with all these auras. Everything built up, mind control, even queuing up that Crimson Guard next. Vlad's finished as well on the Clockwork. Yeah, these 5v5 fights, they're just far too much sustain. And this Meepo, level 17, Shadow Fiend, kind of keeping up with it.
Maelstrom on Mickey, help him deal a bit more with the army that's going to be running at them down these lanes. But still very much Nigma continuing to hold on to this strong moment that they have right here for the opening of this match with this lineup. They're playing fast, they're taking towers, they're sitting around this top lane ready to push in again. Miracle halfway, just over halfway actually, towards his Orchid. And they're diving, he'll try and kick him back, but with the root control from Weeha, Tiger will fall. Nigma just continues to eat up heroes, consume the map, play to the advantage that they absolutely have right now. 6k lead, they can start knocking on the high ground. They have everything required. And the question is, Liquid, can they push this back?
They don't have deep push. Their deep push is raises. That's pretty much it. It's very difficult for them. They get the arrow connection onto Weeha here.
Gonna try, but GH, he's in with a hook shot. The Sonic Wave always on the three of them. The BKB has come out as well as the False Promise, and it wasn't quite enough burst to kill them. Mickey, the coconut's bouncing over towards him, but he's able to hide himself. With the Moonlight Shadow, they keep him safe. There's now the arrow off the mark from Boxy. Liquid, can they try and catch anyone here? Nigma up to the high ground they go. Nobody ending up going down there. They didn't have enough follow-up after that Sonic Wave to get any of the kills, and all it was is just a bit of a pushback on Liquid, as Liquid hold the high ground, and they do manage to keep that tier 3 alive.
But they pulled all of Liquid back to their base is the big thing, and now Weeha, he's a Meepo. This is the dream for a Meepo, is when you do force an enemy into their base like this, you just send your Meepos, push out all the lanes, farm extra camps, and you guys can hold this aggressive stance and kind of chokehold them inside of their base. Liquid's trying to use his smoke to get themselves out there, maybe catch the Meepo when he is going for this push. This could be a pretty nice read by them.
Oh yeah, if they can get the jump.
They know what Weeha wants to try to do here.
The feeling that he could be on their side of the map's not the case. He is a lot deeper. He's farming very safely with the rest of his Meepo army, and safe enough that it will not be found by this movement from Liquid.
Yeah, they'll know this is happening. Look at those creeps. Creeps are hitting their base, so immediately you know that Liquid is most likely smoking down on that bottom side. Weeha shifts himself toward the top jungle and now rejoins his team.
Yeah, and this is just all in all so far. Solid performance from Nigma with the Meepo lineup. And we are showing that this very much is a hero that if they seize a chance to get it in a great opportunity, he's going to be able to play a brilliant game. 7-0-2, no deaths on the Meepo this match. As Mickey caught alone in the jungle, things just continuing to go to Nigma's advantage. And with this Meepo just accruing the mass that he has, it's just hard to see a way that Liquid's going to ever be able to shut him down now.
I'm just looking at the Queen of Pain attack animation. I just love it.
Oh, it's like the whip.
The whip is
another whip.
Yeah, I'm just so distracted.
There we go.
Jump forward.
Tiger is going to try and commit. They do have the fear, pushing them back, and in fact, he's falling fast.
Oh, wow.
He's dead. All right, they're finally able to get that kill on Weeha, and to be honest, he died pretty darn quickly there with a full combo coming out. GH is going to try and fight on, and Weeha is going to buy back. Tiger will fall outside the base. Quoifer trying to beat through the cogs to get up to the high ground, but Kura's in with the Death Ward. He has got the invis, but the dust is there upon him. False Promise comes out from Instania as they desperately try and get him back to the base on the side. Boxy being chased, the roots upon him. E-bladed as well. They've got the burst, bringing him low. Tiger rolls forward. Boxy's able to leap to the side. The kick as well from Tiger, keeping Boxy alive as he pushing him back in the midst of it all, though Quoifer's surrounded. They kill the SF. Quoifer's got no buyback. Weeha steps over towards towards Mickey. The Meepo buyback paying off big time as they're just cleaning up Liquid, pushing them back to the fountain. Tiger's dead without buyback, so will Mickey fall.
Tier 4s.
As this game looks to be well and truly Meepo'd. We may have had a rough one on the Invoker in game 1, but this game, a very, very smooth performance from him. 8-1 and 6 ending it up. They'll take the tier 4s. Nigma can move on to the Ancient. They'll kill off Boxy before the final GG is likely to be called. A buyback comes out, Boxy fighting to the last moments, but this game is over. Game 2, 26 minutes in. Nigma will equalize the series. And the draft, it was just perfect. They knew exactly what they wanted to run with this Meepo lineup. Liquid, they had a pick or two to try and react to the Meepo. They just couldn't find something that worked for it. Nigma had just set up the draft in a way that this 26-minute victory, I guess it was almost inevitable.
Yeah, it really did feel like it. They itemized perfectly. The pipe, the Grieve Rush on the Queen of Pain, we kind of expected all this to come together. Liquid, I feel like in this type of game, the only way that they can actually win is if they just make like 0 mistakes at all. People don't get caught out at all. This SF gets a super fast BKB. They even got the Aegis steal, but Nigma, this draft was just a little bit too strong for them. And that last play there, they got Weehaw, but the buyback, they have a Chen. Chen just divine favors him back into the fight. Yeah, they're just able to outnumber and outmass them. Well executed game plan.
No, absolutely, and definitely a good boost to the morale for Nigma, you would imagine, as they have had quite a few series where people have been very quick to criticize the drafting and the play style, but this game, Nigma showing that they can really sort it out, present something that looked almost untouchable come past the 15 minutes, especially when you just saw for the whole of that game how Weehaw was farming away. He was just playing the perfect Meepo game. He had all the space he needed. There was very little to make him doubt being able to win this game. I think, Weehaw knew from 5 minutes onwards that he was going to be able to close this game up as a Meepo.
Yeah, they had a great plan, and this is something that Nigma specializes in. I think Sin was also, or the panel had mentioned it in general, is just this is what Nigma likes to do. They're very good at their timing pushes, and they made it work this time around perfectly.
Yeah, well, there we have it. Nigma take game 2. The series now 1-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for game 3, and we'll see. Will Nigma get the Meepo again? And if not, can they beat Liquid without it? We'll find out shortly. 1-1 at the moment between Nigma and Team Liquid.
Hey everyone, this is Nico Baby from Team Alliance, and I'm trying the Betway Skill Shot Challenge to see if I can get the highest score at Blast Bounty Hunt. 3, 2, 1, start. I'm not missing a... Sure. So far, not a single miss. Now it's Mirana on the... I'm so good at this game. Alright, I missed the arrow. Next, Mars. This game is kinda cool, actually. Playing Mina next. Lina is next. Alright, I missed one. Shadowfiend is the last one. My final score is 4.9k. I think I did pretty bad. But you can try it yourself and share your score online with hashtag #SkillshotChallenge. And next up is a Dota 2 caster, Purge.
The series between Team Nigma and Team Liquid is tied. It is a 1-1 here, and we're getting ready to see a third game between the two teams. I'm here with Purge and Synderen, and we are going to break down that second game of the series. Synderen, this start of the game was a lot more even than the first game we saw.
Yeah, this time Nigma's laning stage didn't completely fall apart. They put up their strategy the way that they needed to, and you know, it's just a totally different game, right? Because they get to show what they can do when they get to play. And in game number 1, Liquid just didn't even let them play. And this game they did. And I don't think, to be fair, Liquid didn't really have a choice. I don't think their strategy could have avoided for Nigma to come online. The laning stage for Nigma's lineup is pretty strong. You have a Queen of Pain Witch Doctor safe lane, which is strong. There's a bit of a dive here that maybe goes a little bit too crazy for them, where Koifa comes in from the side with a very nice rotation and gets a couple of kills. So Nigma by no means played the perfect game, but they had set themselves up in such a way that they didn't need to play the perfect game. They just needed to play solid, not make too many too grueling mistakes, and then they could start building an advantage with their auras.
And also very importantly, Meepo is just a really good pick this game. I mean, it's tough when you get into this stage at the tournament where you feel like you have the draft semi figured out, you have this plan, and all of a sudden they just have this perfect hero that they play very well, that works really well against all the heroes you started with, and it just makes the rest of the match really tough because you have to alter your item builds into something that's like not as efficient. You have to play a little bit differently because they just knew that they weren't going to be able to match up against the Meepo well. And then it was made even worse in this last fight. Look how much shit is here. You can only shoot one arrow, you know? Like, and yeah. you can Requiem of Souls to kill Meepo, and they did do that once here successfully, but he buys back, and then it's like the Chen heal comes out the second time they try to kill him. They don't even get close to touching him because they have so many auras and heal acceleration.
I mean, when you do see this kind of situation arise in the game, you do feel like perhaps there were other picks than Shadowfiend that had potential. I feel like Shadowfiend actually a lot of the time falls flat against this type of strategy because he has one big AoE burst. But if you can mitigate that with Chen heal and pipe, what does your Shadowfiend offer afterwards? Let's say you had an Elder Titan or a Pangolier who either sustain insanely long or an Echo Slam from Shaker, you know, something like that where Nigma will have to play a little bit wiser with how they initiate and ball up. In this game, it just felt like they could literally run at them as just a clump, and as long as they didn't mess up completely, they could outlast the majority of the damage just innately by pressing a button each. Just
GH played so good in all these fights.
Yeah, he had sick hook shots. Yeah, it was very good.
Apart from one.
Oh yeah, the hook shot that he got.
Okay.
Shot it into the back.
One hook, Shiver.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also oversimplifying it. I'm making it sound easier than it is. It's not like Nigma could just face roll this game and didn't have to play well, of course. But you know, we're kind of expecting a team of this caliber to play very well. So then it comes down to do you need to play extraordinarily or do you need to play well? And what does the enemy team have to stop you in your tracks? And I don't think Shadowfiend really managed, as an overall last pick of this game, to accomplish what was needed for Liquid.
He did lane really well. That was the best
absolutely.
thing that he did in this game. He zoned Weehaw from the lane. Weehaw had to jungle really early. Unfortunately, that's Meepo's natural habitat, but
yeah.
It's hard to transition from there on a hero like Shadowfiend because the ideal gameplay is that you're kind of up in front, they try to go into you BKB, and then you're able to do a bunch of damage after they've initiated on you. And it's harder to like force them to be caught by you as Shadowfiend. So
yeah, I think I looked at a snapshot of the gold, I think minute 5 or 6, and I think Weehaw was ahead of Koikva, and that was after Koikva won the first few waves and mid as Shadowfiend. You're not gonna stop Meepo jungling with this lineup because you don't have aggressive enough pieces that can really just keep running in there against the lineup that Nigma have that just keeps pushing toward your towers with this Chen, the Queen of Pain Witch Doctor playing aggressively. makes up so much space for we. It's kind of the opposite of the interview he had yesterday. He was like, I love making space for my team so they can carry me. They kind of did the exact opposite way around this time, and it worked great. So that's a team that has flexibility and strategy.
Yeah, it really was all aboard the WeHeart train there. Especially with the Chen last pick, we were a little surprised that it was indeed Mind Control playing the Chen. Yep. He did definitely not play it as flashy, for example, as the 33 Chen that we've seen play from the offlane, but he did very well support Weeha. He did exactly his job. Yeah, a lot of creeps as well to, of course, catch arrows.
It's really not that different from other aura heroes as well. I mean, yes, you're less mobile. Wow, excellent. Putting them into the hole. I guess whoever made this art forgot about game one, but we'll see what happens after here. Maybe he's gonna jump back in the end, but
he's already dug the hole. Then he can jump in it together with Liquid or pull them out.
Yeah, something like that. There is actually a Vengeful Spirit that he buried, and right before he puts the last bit of dirt on, they swap him in.
Ooh, that's another good news. Another good news, it was Queen of Pain getting the first blood. So you're on track, Purge and Cinnamon, and 9% of everybody who voted that Queen of Pain would be the one getting the most first blood of the tournament. Now, we've seen a lot of Queen of Pain's first phase banned over the last 3 days. This was one of the few games where it actually was let through. Was the performance of Queen of Pain reason to ban it again, or what did you guys think?
The flexibility is nice, right? It's the fact that you can pick this hero and then you could even turn it into a meepo strategy, right? It's just a nice opener because it goes multiple lanes and plays the meta well. I don't remember all the bans that Liquid did, if there's one they should swap out. But for me, Queen of Pain was not the centerpiece of this strategy. It just ended up working well with everything else that came together.
I agree. If I compare Queen of Pain to another hero that's in a similar place, it's Dragon Knight. I would much rather open with a Queen of Pain than a Dragon Knight, because so far Dragon Knight, while it is lane flexible, it just seems like more of a weakness than what Queen of Pain provides.
Yeah, I will tell you that IO, Beastmaster, Ember, and Nature's Prophet were the bans from Team Liquid, so do you feel like they should change something up there? Because the IO, you don't want to deal with that because they play it really fast, and you want to play faster.
Those are good bans, man. They're good bans.
They are.
It depends. It also depends on the pick order, right? We don't know what the coin flip is going to dictate in this last game. But yeah, similar to what I said about Nigma after game one, you know, if you're Liquid, this was, you got out strategized, kind of like how game one was. It was going to be an uphill battle. It was very hard. They put in good effort, but reset, go for a new game. If Quap is something you're feeling like you need to move, do it. I think Meepo is a much better hero to consider, at least for second phase ban, just so you don't have to worry, you know? It puts your team at ease when the cheese picks, if you want to call it that, are out of the picture.
Yeah, it's the same reason why we see Broodmother bans sometimes. Just don't want to have to deal with that. Yep. Especially not Weeha's Meepo. All right, so we're heading into a third game very soon. We've seen both teams win, and that was mostly strategy-wise decided. I mean, one was because of the laning stage. I'm gonna very much black and white it here. Like laning stage error by Nigma in game one, and we had a draft error by Liquid in game two. We've seen both of those. What is going to happen in this third game of the series, do we think? Who's the better team?
Draft seems to determine a lot of things, so it all kind of comes down to what they formulate in the next few minutes, basically. What heroes do they want to open with? How do they adjust? And do they let their opponents like have an amazing pick in the end? I mean, I'm sure Liquid felt comfortable with their draft until the Meepo came out, so yeah, it really can turn on a coin flip sometimes. It'll be hard to see.
And then there's another question. Will there finally be a team making an effort for the bounties? We saw actually in game one, we saw Mind Control having some interesting movement where, yes, he was cutting creep waves, but he also was on a good position on his Weaver to try to get some couriers, perhaps. But all of the efforts were, like, again, still a little half-assed. Are we going to see a team putting more effort into something like that?
Imagine.
There's a lot of money on the line.
Imagine if Mind Control would have found 8 couriers at the end of that game by sitting between the 2 towers mid. That would have been.
But that's the thing, you can. Well, you can find 4, right?
I think teams are gonna half-ass try the kill 9 or more couriers, and there's no way you can adjust your gameplay too much about something feeder. The enemy team just has way too much control about it, and it's like. As clean as you have to be to win these damn games in the first place, if you ever prioritize killing a specific hero, it's going to be too hard because there's just not enough margin for you to mess around to still win games. So I don't see the last. We might see Drop the Dead Donkey get completed at some point in this tournament, maybe especially in the grand finals. Let's say Team Secret's up 2-0. Maybe they'll be more willing to throw a game to get $15,000, but and maybe not even throw, but of course, but I just don't see a lot of the teams going stupid out of their way to try to snipe on Curse. They're just focused on winning right now.
And so the question on the predictions that was like how many of the bounties will be achieved by the end of the week, what did you guys say?
I don't remember.
I did 3.
I think I did 3 as well. I think 2 or 3. I don't think I said all 4.
Oh, I said all 4.
But I'm not, honestly don't remember.
You know a word I'm thinking about, you.
Idiot. It's okay. You're allowed to say it. We are very close to having the third game, and of course both of these teams have been doing very well. Nigma is the one that already has 1 bounty to their name. GH not dying an entire game, the first game of the tournament. Do you guys feel like, based on the first series, by the way, that we saw from these 2 teams together, like, if you see this as a little bit of a continuation of that series, do you feel like there's any lessons that they have learned from that?
They both really like the Quap Arcana because they just like to take turns spanking each other. That's all. Back to the 3 cam.
Thank you. I thought there's gonna be some real good points coming out here, and then there was that. I mean, there has been, but in the first series, we did have the third game of the series being the close game. So hopefully we're in for a close game as we are in the draft powered by Betway. We got some bans. Queen of Pain still in the pool, by the way. Mirana did get banned again, this time by Liquid themselves. And they left Ember in to be banned by the other team. That means... Which hero am I missing? Phoenix was banned previously, and Lone Druid. Those 2 still in the pool.
Okay.
No more Phoenix.
It looks, if I look at like the Liquid bans, they like seem like all the ultra meta heroes to me. Nigmas are a little bit more specific, which is interesting. All right, there's the Venge. They're about to accidentally swap themselves into the
the hole.
into the hole in the ground.
Venge Luna is a traditional combo though, and we have seen the Mickey Queen of Pain. I know they use it as a flex pick, but I think it was the Mickey Queen of Pain last Tuesday that was like amazing, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I mean, almost every Quap game has gone really well, frankly. But I do like the Venge Luna response. I think out of something that makes like their strat just instantly solidified, opening with Luna looks really great to me. So I'm pretty happy with Nigma's response to the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, let's see what they pair it up with. They're actually going into their bonus time with this.
Shaker, maybe? There's been a lot of Shaker in this tournament, and they're gonna go for the Rubik. So I wonder why Shaker went from just being a first pick or a first phase pick in a lot of games to just not being rated that high. I don't remember if Taiga maybe just doesn't feel it right now, because maybe Liquid were not one of the teams to play it actually. That is entirely possible. But they do choose the Rubik, so it's stable, it's good laning, it works well with Quap if you want to play as an aggro dual lane, it's very strong. Rubik plus Quap has tons of harass, very good on the first few creep waves. Nigma, however, are kind of... The thing you gotta be a little bit concerned about as Liquid is that Nigma are kind of going in the same direction as last game where they kind of crushed you, right? They're building up for this massive mid-game timing. You did not ban the Chen once again, so they could try for that again with just a Luna instead of Meepo. You also did not ban the Meepo again.
Mm-hmm. They went for the Visage though, which is also a high hero.
Yeah, Visage could have also been great with this strategy. They know the strength of this because they run it themselves, right? I think Liquid played this strategy with Venge, Luna, Visage themselves yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly those 3 heroes. So keeping it safe. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Chen pick here though. That would be very Kuro-esque to get a Chen in this game. That's just seems solid. I think Chen is a pretty good hero against Queen of Pain. Like any hero that has tons of AoE damage as their primary skill set in the mid game gets pretty well countered by Chen. But they're gonna get the other dude on a horse.
I was gonna say, I was like, there he is.
Yeah, it was close, but not quite.
I do like Huddle pairing with Luna though. It's gonna create a lot of good control. This is one, you could argue, small counter to Luna. That Centaur has really high base damage, so he can actually contest the lane. decently well. Not that Luna doesn't catch up relatively quickly, but once they get to like Stampede territory, Luna is vulnerable to being ran at. And right now their lineup is looking pretty mobile, so Venge Swap does help, obviously, but it can't save her life from just enough damage.
Would you consider Centaur a counter to Coddle or the other way around? Because I don't know who I would say is better against two of these two heroes.
Are you saying because you can sprint your whole team out of Ignis Fata?
Yeah, you can Stampede out of the Ignis and you can maybe get on top of the Coddle, but at the same time Coddle can knock you all away and control you. So I don't know how much merit the Centaur pick really has. It's the first one of the tournament, I do believe. We haven't seen it get much priority.
I guess it depends. It's all based on who goes in first, right? If Centaur is initiating and the enemy team doesn't expect it, then you'll be stronger. But if you pop Stampede, the Ignis Fautus goes down in between your team and their team, and they're losing half of their sprint duration. So I guess it could go both ways, for sure. But Blinding Light will be definitely nice to just like even make Centaur landing hoof stomps difficult. Push him back, don't let him get those easy jumps.
I
pick DK.
love this pick this game. So to me, this is a totally different Dragon Knight game than the previous one. So in my opinion, in this patch, this is the slot Dragon Knight should be picked in. It should be late second phase, or maybe sometimes third pick. And the reason it's so good here is that Dragon Knight, naturally, his push timing and the way he wants to group up and fight really aligns well with Venge and Luna. On top of that, Dragon Knight has some inherent mana issues that Coddle really solves, and you're playing Dragon Knight against Queen of Pain, which is a counter matchup, so you can even get that lane, just like Liquid did last game. They put Dragon Knight off lane so it could lane against Queen, and he did well. So this is the best Dragon Knight pick of the tournament for me. I really like it in this slot. He's also relatively tanky. He can probably buy either BKB or Pipe here, and then the Radiant lineup doesn't really deal with him very well at the current point. Good pick.
Yeah, that's a good point. Still a little weak to the magic damage. That's relatively heavy, but like you said, BKB or Pipe would solve that problem. But lane-wise, yeah, he'll have decent matchups.
I think your lineup naturally wants to buy auras, so he won't feel bad about either having to go a route of very aura-heavy build or an early BKB, because the team isn't relying on him to get, say, a fast Maelstrom or whatever to deal damage here, or Radiance even, because they have Venge and Luna auras, so their heroes will already innately be dealing extra damage. He just needs to tank up and keep everyone alive, and then their team fight is extremely strong. That is another first pick of the tournament. Lots of new heroes coming out.
So we saw, I believe, Ninjas in Pajamas playing Grimstroke against the Luna, and they had to buy an Aghanim Scepter to take control of Luna. But now you just need to hit level 6, and somebody's gonna die with the Winner's Curse.
Correction, I think this is the second game, by the way. There was a game with Grimstroke Wyvern.
Liquid.
I think we had that earlier.
It was the first game of the tournament. It was also Team Liquid. They played Winter Wyvern Grimstroke against Nigma.
Well, it should work relatively good. He's not going to be very farm heavy, but the enemy damage is actually pretty physical heavy right now outside of like Eclipse. So even Cold Embrace is pretty fantastic actually, especially on a super tanky hero like Centaur, depending on the initiation. So I think Wyvern was a really good pick here.
I think I would have liked Grimstroke more, to be honest.
But Grimstroke doesn't kill Luna doesn't weaponize Luna as easily, and if they don't think they're going to be able to outfarm Luna, why not
try to kill his team with him?
Yeah, just get a kill on like either Venge or Coddle are going to die instantly. Not that they're not going to position well, but I feel like it gives them more ability to cycle cooldowns, and they have really good low cooldown abilities that are fairly effective. They don't necessarily need ultimates to be really, really strong. And it's a lot of magic damage too. That's going to work really well against Dragon Knight.
You know what it also is? Quite a few intelligence heroes here.
Yep, that's 4 out of 8.
Keeping track.
So
we're gonna be close.
Is that 4 int, 2 agi, 2 strength right now? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It needs to make up some ground. Still a lot of games to go today, but
I think int is close to a tie for first now. It was bad game 1, but in game 2 there was most int, and now again it looks like there's most int, so it's probably caught up.
Yeah.
It's got to be close.
It's at least a lot closer than what we thought.
That's true.
Oh god, if it's all 3, I'm gonna be so mad tied. I'm gonna look so dumb.
The odds of that are very low.
Yeah, but they're there.
I mean, they're all pretty close right now. There's been a decent amount of strength throws every time. Oh no, another Agi hero. They did need a core. Agi heroes typically are better carries than the other types, but Rupture against Luna looks semi-effective. It's gonna, if you rupture Luna and he gets swapped, he takes extra damage, so it's not as catastrophic when that happens. You'll have easy silence setups after Winter's Curse. There's a lot of really good things going from here with the Bloodseeker pick.
I guess he also works well with Centaur, right? You run at the enemy team, their natural instinct a lot of the time will be to try to disengage. But if you rupture someone and then Stampede, you're kind of there. I think what Nigma should do now is they should double down on not having to run away. I think just make sure that if Liquid wants to run at you and try to fight you, you are so strong that you can stand your ground. Caudle is already good at it. Dragon Knight is good at it. Get Weeha, a last pick here, that wants to stand and fight. I think the
Monkey?
Does Weeha play much Monkey King? I don't think so. I
Does he not?
feel like he hasn't played it for a while at least.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh. Would he also
idea.
not be a person that would play the Dragon Knight, perhaps? Or are you guys sold on having Mind Control play Dragon?
He could
It
play
feels a
DK.
little slow for him, but he could play it, yeah.
I think
I just think
Huskar?
they need something a little faster.
How about Huskar?
Is it safe to go? Why bother with Huskar when you already have Luna, who's already an excellent tower hitter, though?
Just because of
Like, what is
the way your lineup aligns at the same time. It could be a thing. I'm just thinking, I'm not thinking about Huskar specifically from the perspective of it being the perfect draft fit. I'm just combining the player's hero pool and the strategy, right? Like, what does Weeha play in this kind of strategy for Nigma? It will often be Huskar.
Viper.
Bat Rider.
Oh boy, it's a good
Yeah,
bat
that
game.
works a lot better. Yeah, they didn't need something farm heavy.
It is a
like,
good bat
they've-
game.
With between like Luna and the auras and the DK, they're fine. He just needs to make stuff happen, be obnoxious, make it difficult for the enemy team to land the right spells at the right time, and Bat's gonna be really good at that.
He has good lane matchups. He is a bit mobility based. I find getting ruptured on bat is very annoying. But if you get the initiation, you have so much backup in this team to pile on to the target. Follow-up stuns, follow-up teamfight ultis, and you would expect Weeha to get items this game because of how good his lane should be. So I really like this last pick, and I think Nigma have cracked the code after that beating in game 1. I'm gonna pick them to win again.
Yeah, I think the Bat pulls their draft together really well. A couple different ways to initiate. Yeah, I think the Bat Rider was excellent. He's had a really good track record on it too.
Yep.
But Liquid has some options also. Maybe they can get a lot of good Winter's Curses against one of the best teams in the world. Who knows?
That sounds very grim.
They might be able to.
For Team Liquid, but I am curious. I mean, you guys agree that Nigma in this situation has the better draft from the two. What needs to go well, other than getting a couple of good curses? What needs to go well for Team Liquid in order for them to have a chance this game?
I don't think it's that terrible. It's not like I wouldn't give like a 9-1 or whatever for Nigma in this game. I think they outpicked them more in the previous game. I favor their draft, but not by a mile. So I think Liquid, focus on getting off to a good start in your laning stage. Set up Bloodseeker and Centaur. Again, play on Boxy. Don't let Centaur have a bad game. He needs to really take initiative in this game, and you could roll with the punches while Nigma fall behind if you do well in your lanes. Play team fights, play aggressive.
Right, anything to add to that, Perch?
I think, yeah, Bloodseeker and Centaur are the crucial heroes. Bloodseeker especially is going to be a lot of the carry potential, so he needs to make sure that he doesn't have a rough game, that he can get into ganks successfully. And I hope that Centaur doesn't get behind. I don't have as much faith in that hero as I do in Axe about being able to take over a game. He does it by standing in lane, and he might just feed too much doing that potentially.
All right. Well, let's find out how Boxy will do on his Centaur in his third game of the series. Let's head over to a commentary team of OD Pixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree with the panel, folks. You know, this is Nigma opening up with the old Luna Venge, something they've had a lot of success with, and this Luna just as a whole has looked incredibly strong for the majority of this tournament. As they said as well, Liquid responding with some bit of different picks. The Wyvern making its second appearance here. Do you like it? Do you think they've got a good solid answer to what looks to be like Nigma's overall stronger draft?
I like some of the stuff that they've definitely approached with. I think I stayed muted. You can hear me now, right? Okay.
I can hear you now.
I think that they went for... Okay, first we're going to get a kill quickly onto GH. Can they get the deny? They can. So, quick aggressive move by Team Liquid. I like that they really made sure this game that they have out push and deep push. I think that was the one thing that I saw last game. They had, they have Breathe Fire, they have Shadow Rays and stuff like that, but they don't have like Splinter Blast, Fade Bolt, Blood Right. These spells are phenomenal to slow the game down, and I feel like that's kind of what Liquid, the style that they want to play, because like we talked about earlier for Nigmas, they're really good about their tempo and they're just like their push and their go time. When they have that timing, they're going to take over. This will slow it down a lot, and they've counterpicked a decent amount too, right? That Wyvern versus all those auras, the Bloodseeker versus the Venge swap plays that can happen with Rupture. So they definitely drafted themselves a pretty strong one. It just, will they be able to match this Nigma draft? That, like you said, they've played this almost exact style a ton of times.
Oh yeah, and it's just looked great. Yeah, it's looked great. We'll see some of the lanes set up some musical lanes that I would imagine this was what we are trying to get in the lane with Boxy, but Liquid responding by obviously making sure that there's not a melee hero trying to farm underneath the pressure of the Bat Rider, so they'll move the Quap up there.
Yeah, Quap versus Bat, they did not want to have that matchup in the mid lane, because Quap can just own, because you just like sit there and you stand your ground, but you can't actually die too. It's like one of those like matchups that can go back and forth a little bit sometimes, but the Quap can just dominate too if she's really confident. So now we just have funny lanes. We have the DK versus Centaur in the mid lane that I don't think we've ever seen.
Yeah, and down bottom this all-action tri-lane on tri-lane. We saw this earlier this series. Last time round, Mickey as the Bloodseeker he had an insane time in the tri-lane. I think it's going to be a little bit different here if Nigma got a pretty strong tri-lane response.
Yeah, they have a lot of damage, and I love Coddle in particular in most of the situations. The lift up won't catch Miracle either, but yeah, Coddle in a tri-lane. Illuminate is one of the better spells if you can ever connect on it, and Chakra is fantastic on both of these heroes, reducing the cooldown of either the stun or of the Lucent Beam. Lots of kill threat. So should be lots of battles coming out here. I do think I like Nigma's a bit more though.
And we see the musical lanes here again. Quakefer will return to the mid lane, and that was quite smart because Mind Control, he walked all the way from mid to top, and you saw Quakefer, he was getting stacks up, he blinked in deep and then TP'd, and I think the assumption was that he TP'd to stay in the lane, but he had TP'd to switch the lane, so Mind Control has to return to the mid.
Yeah, and Mind Control actually TPs, hits the range creep, Breathe Fires, and misses the last hit with his Breathe Fire. Yeah, so that's a painful to see.
But now, at least for Nigma, they do have this setup where he's going to be against Boxy, and Boxy's not going to have a happy time if he stays up here in the 1v1.
Yep, this is a great setup for them here. Boxy already 10-3, but you're going to see Weehaw just zone him out constantly. How's bottom? Blood right again.
This Blood Right this time round, though, Tiger can't quite get in range for the telekinesis. I'll turn and try and collapse onto what's Mickey, but the Splinter Blast obviously very strong at slowing down any sort of chase or attempt from Nigma.
Sticks versus sticks down here. Who's got more? There's 2 sticks on the side of Team Liquid. Ooh, 3 sticks on the side of Nigma. And aggressive again.
Magic Missile, Lucent Beam and the Blast, they'll get it. The combo's enough. Miracle will get dragged back. The tower hits between the two of them, bringing both Miracle and Kuro low. But Miracle pots the Fairy Fire. Another Magic Missile and a round of a Lucent Beam will get themselves both the kills. Nigma's tri-lane definitely coming out on top this game.
Yeah, you can just see that sheer abundance of damage and control. The Illuminate is going to land pretty much every single time on the hero that does get stunned because of the follow-up that can happen with that Lucent Beam. And they have auras, so it's just going to it should just get stronger on the side of Nigma down there. But last hit-wise, we're taking a look. Liquid's doing pretty damn well right now. The DK, Mind Control, having to move around so much. He's only got 5 to his name in 3 minutes.
And Quakefer, unlikely to really be able to kill, but still the harass from the dagger means that Mind Control has to be a little careful, at least until he has those extra points of the Dragon Blood. He's got 2 in it now. Regen-wise, he has the Tango, and also now the Ring of Regen too, so should be getting to the point where he doesn't care too much about that dagger harass. Mickey's trying to chase for the kills. The Splinter Blast will nuke Miracle rather low, but they turn with the Magic Missile onto Mickey. He can't continue to chase. Tiger step forward. Kuro and GH right-clicking him out of the lane. Kuro, Wave of Terror, one more right-click. The Blast, he'll catch him. GH getting the angle there to clip him with the Illuminate as Nigma get the 3rd kill in this tri-lane.
I'm mostly just going to be looking at this bottom one. I see Boxy's just decided to play the lane at the way I think he should play it, is don't play the lane. Cut the wave, don't play versus a Bat Rider. So he's able to keep his farm pretty good. Weehaw will be able to maximize a bit better out of this and get more levels as well. And Boxy actually walks into the Firefly for a second.
Yeah, they support one another here. Boxy, he has got the double edge if Weehaw gets low enough. But he's able to keep his distance, keep the stacks on him. Is out of mana, so Boxy will be fine. Boxy will just go for the reset. TP's back to base, bottom lane. Another move, this time Miracle's the one getting low. He'll turn, he has still got a Fairy Fire, but he won't pop it. He's dead. Liquid finally able to break through the power of the tri-lane of Nigma and get the big old kill, knocking Miracle out of this bottom half of the map.
And I had said that I feel like it's actually going to get worse for Liquid, but it's similar to actually what happened in the last one, where the sustain war is now versus a Bloodseeker who has Blood Rage. So he's actually able to sustain a lot through all the damage that's coming out, and they're not having to spend so much. I'm seeing these couriers just flying bottom with tons of regen. But yeah, Mick is able to save that much extra gold because he's a Bloodseeker.
Yeah, the driving force for Nigma coming out of these laning stages is definitely going to be Wii. You know, we saw it in the previous series when he played the bat. He was able to, when he gets this free funk, get a really good timing on this bot's BKB. And he made some excellent moves. So if he can get a good timing on that, you know that he's going to start coming down to this half by getting in the face of the Bloodseeker. And, you know, a farmed Batrider will be very hard for Liquid to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's such a good... Whenever there's a Wyvern on the enemy team, I'm always just, like, my mind is just yelling Batrider and Pugna. Those are two of the biggest ones for me whenever I see it. So they will get that one.
Radiant are scared.
Nigma trying to position themselves here for... I mean, it's just constant battle bottom, so
Yeah.
see who they're going to go for.
Tiger's trying for a bit of a wraparound. Splinter Blast to start things off. We'll be able to connect on both. Kuro and Miracle bringing them both low. The Blood Ride's out. Mickey staying on top of the Luna. They'll get the kill. Now with the silence of Kuro, they could turn over towards the Venge. He's got the Fairy Fire. The one charges into the trees. He goes, tries for the TP out, but Quaifa with the rotation comes in. Sonic Wave puts that escape to an end as Kuro will fall.
Foxy this time gets caught, going a little too deep. Trying to cut the creep waves. Weehaw will chase him out. Mind Control wants to try to get some tower damage here because that rotation from Koikva. He does have his ult available. He's going to pop it with a DD. Some good tower damage for him.
This bottom lane, sure at the start we saw Nigma get the 3 kills, but it's ended up in Miracle dying twice in this lane, whereas Mickey only the once has he fallen.
I feel like they should switch. Like Luna having 0-2-3. 17 last hits. It's not a good look for Miracle right now. It's not a good start for him. They might have to just call Weehaw down here. Weehaw's about to have bots, so maybe that's going to be the play, as they just bots him down and make the play. But Miracle has to be careful as they constantly are looking for the grab on him.
Get the grab. He's back into the Blood Bright, slowing him down as well with the Arctic Burn, but the rest of them are here ready to turn onto Insania. Magic Missile, Lucid Beam, Miracle still low. He's got to be careful. Mickey, he's just going to run him down. The 6 is hit on Boxy. He has the Stampede to set up for Mickey to kill off Miracle yet again.
Kuroki.
And now this trial is falling apart completely for Nigma. Double kill for Mickey. For as great as it seemed for the first 2-3 minutes, that has just entirely disappeared. It's 2-1 and 4 now on Mickey. We saw what happened in the other series when he was on this tri-lane Bloodseeker when he got as good of a start as this, and it wasn't pretty for the opponents. This is a great start now for Mickey's Bloodseeker.
Yeah, and I actually didn't get to point out this other thing too, is what Liquid did here is if you look, all 3 of the tri-lane actually bought raindrops because they recognize Nigma's physical damage output isn't really that high between the 3 of them at the moment. It's really just about that burst magical. So they're actually absorbing so much damage because it's going to not only block the first instance, it probably will block a second instance of damage from the spells before they get, before they actually get chased out too far. So that's a really cool approach.
An absolute lifesaver down here.
I like it quite a lot. Like, look, he's down to 1 raindrop on the Bloodseeker, but he's absorbed a significant amount of damage that he would have normally taken.
They need Weehaw to come in big with this time. Bots is done. They need him to help them out down bottom. They're not having a great time. Liquid are just toying with them. And again, the Blood Bright is going to hit on the 2 of them. Mickey's going to have the booster speed. He's able to chase down Miracle. It's a 4th death on the Miracle Luna. Liquid just killing him over and over again. They've got to look for something amazing here. Weehaw's come down bottom. They really, really need to catch this Bloodseeker.
They have to just find ways for Miracle to just play by himself to catch back up.
Weehaw, he's able to roll him over from the trees, get the lasso, grabbing Mickey. Mickey's surrounded by the 3 of them. Perfect move from Weehaw. They needed this more than ever. He'll step over towards Tiger. Tiger quick with the TP. We'll get out of there, but Nigma do manage to finally put an end to Mickey just ruling this bottom tri-lane.
Yeah, they need to just play as 3 or 4 and let Miracle just not show his face because Miracle will just die as mid.
Mind Control. He's trying to get Quaifa, but Boxy's chasing. Boxy's got Stampede. Mind Control is absolutely dead. He does have a Dragon Tail stun. Buys him a little bit of time, but the slow did connect. Quaifa's got to be very cautious there. Just try and get back involved. He's not needed as Boxy finishes off the kill. I mean, Michael, you can see that he was just chasing down that Quap. He really wanted to kill him off.
Very aggressive play. Miracle, yeah, like I said, he has to just chill in the jungle. Everyone else has to make aggressive plays. Weehaw will claim outpost top. Taiga trying to get one back for themselves, and they will. So 1-for-1 outpost going to be the exchange. Bounties. Looks like it should just be a 2-for-2. Yeah. But Taiga might pay with his life for this one.
Well, he's got
say
the
maybe.
telekinesis.
Yeah.
And he's up to the high ground. He's fine, he's fine.
He's all right.
Okay, having to walk away from Weehaw. As Quafer will go for a bit of a poke on him. With the Firefly and the movement speed of the bots, he's fine. TP's in fact straight down to the bottom lane. Lasso available again in 5 seconds. Weehaw was able to get the good catch last time. Who's down here at the moment? Only the 2 supports hiding in the trees. Boxy off to the side. See who Weehaw's able to get a grab on. Starts to spot out the Centaur. No stampede for 30 seconds, but Boxy's already starting to back, and Liquid, they've left this entire area. As soon as Weehaw shows his face down here, Liquid, they just get out of there.
Go for their own plays elsewhere. Go. They can trade 2 towers or 2 significant amounts of tower damage for the 1. It's a pretty good move for them there. Miracle kind of just hiding in the side here, waiting for the creep wave to come up to get some last hits. But yeah, Miracle's game is, it's going to be very slow to catch up, but he has to be very careful because he's playing